So, good evening, everybody. I am going straight in. There may be a slight problem once we get the lag caught up, but I'm just going to go for it. So, first thing, most important thing, a big. Right. Okay, hang on. Bear with me a sec because I think I've got a background. Sorry, guys. Oh, it was you, was it?
Might have been me, but then you can't hear my mic, can you? But anyway, yeah.
Oh, no, I am suitably muted. Yeah, muted. Right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Apologies for that. Right. So, welcome to the show. This is issue 68. But just as importantly, possibly even more importantly, it's Horlicks' birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Well, tomorrow, midnight. But yeah.
So, let's see who notices. So, how's your week been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, very good. Just getting used to my new car and yeah, lovely week. Busy at work. That's about it, really.
Excellent.
Nothing exciting. All sorts of parcels and things coming through the post. Yeah, obviously, I think, well, I've got the hint because I have the giant mugs. It's not as big as the one I normally have.
No.
But I have gone through the post.
To forgive me, I'm kind of just planning doing something at the moment as well, just setting the show up as we go. You know what I'm like.
Yeah.
So
no, I've got so a giant Yorkshire subscribe to me.
Oh, very nice.
Giant Yorkshire tea bag.
That is a bit giant, isn't it?
So that is suitably paired to my giant mug because I have to use 2 or 3 tea bags in that big mug. So
oh, excellent. I will just say today is a Dave Say day. However, he has pre-advised us that he may be a little bit late. And yeah, P40F20 is one of the first ones to notice. Chris Davies has noticed. Chris Campbelling, that we're all wearing the same shirt. So we now have a Routemaster uniform.
It is. Well, I had this on my Amazon wish list because I saw it and someone very kindly purchased it for me, and it's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we've got matching attire for the Wednesday show.
Brilliant. So we have got someone popping up here. Hello, P40F20.
Hello, Penny. How are you?
How are you? So, in case you hadn't guessed, Horlicks, I've just planned you a little bit of a surprise. We thought we'd have someone come in and say happy birthday.
Oh. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Well, it's midnight tonight, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll let you off on that one.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, I'm a bit...
That's all right, Dave. I did pre-advise. I think today is going to be the Horlicks show with a little bit of building as well.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Happy birthday, Horlicks.
Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, nice to see you. It's lovely when you see very familiar names, isn't it? And then you see them, and it's like, I can put a name to a face now.
Yeah. Well, I've been seeing you for months now. Now you got a chance to see me.
Yeah. No, really, that's a nice surprise. Yeah, because you had problems. Yeah, because you were going to come on last week, weren't you? And you had problems, but I guess you sorted that.
I don't know if he caught you there, Horlicks. So, hello to Adrian Langley.
Oh God, they're all there.
Hello, Penny.
Now I'm having a problem where I'm getting a loop of of all of you talking.
And hello, Chris Davies.
Oh look, there's another one. Hello.
I can't plan as big a surprise as you can, but I can do a mini surprise. So nice. I can go behind your back as well, and we've got another one.
Oh God! Good job. I've got a powerful computer.
Hello, Fleetwood.
Hello.
So I thought I would invite a few extra people onto the show today.
Yeah.
To wish you happy birthday and see if we can make the show complete and utter chaos.
Hiya.
God, it's mad, isn't it? I didn't even know you could have this many people on one.
Apparently you can have up to 10.
Oh, right.
I think I invited about 4 extra, maybe 5. I don't know how many I invited. I just lost track in the end. So we have a big old party going on now.
Oh.
So shall we build and then do all the festivities?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Right.
So while you're getting ready, I'll have a little chat with Dave. Say, how are you, Dave? What have you been up to?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of the other. Been to see our daughter today, and we've done a bit of shopping, and we've seen my friend Clive. Hi, Clive, if you're watching. And we've seen Dawn too. And then I've been busy in the garage.
Okay, so not an awful lot then, Dave.
Oh, not an awful lot.
No.
No, well, my son's going to a big show this weekend with some of his stationary engines.
Is that why you had them all out?
This is the one that is going to take them all too, yeah. Right. So I've been sorting my things out and opening doors and getting him ready for him coming. So I've got a big apology to make to you that at some point during the evening, when he does arrive, I will be disappearing and helping him.
That's not a problem. So we'll try and get this done before you have to go, and then we can get your comments.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm gonna give everybody. Obviously, we're gonna go through this week. I am gonna give everybody a warning and a little bit of a spoiler. We're actually going to be doing the same thing twice, and then next week we're going to be doing exactly the same again, the same thing twice. So we'll have done the same thing 4 times over 2 issues. If you find that quite boring, I apologize. My personal opinion is it is actually going to be quite productive. I'm a little bit gutted that we're not actually going to fix the bits, so we're going to have quite a lot of bits laying around, but that's the way the build goes. So if you haven't already, you might want to think about small storage boxes or cardboard boxes or something like that, just to keep the parts safe.
Oh, so, I've got a couple for mine.
Oh, say that again.
I said I have a couple for mine.
Yeah.
I actually, for the lower deck seats, I got those ahead of the walls and the floor, so I built them up and put them in a storage box.
Yeah. Well, if it helps with regards to boxes, because the packages were quite big this week or this month, I actually got my delivery in a box. Normally, I get it in a black bag, but if you've got larger parts, sometimes I'll send it in a box. So I've actually got, if I didn't already have a box, in fact, I'm just going to move my camera up a bit. There you go. That's a bit better. Yes, if I didn't already have boxes, as you can see, I have got 1 or 2 boxes. But if I didn't already, I've now have a box. So shall we go through this issue first?
Yep.
Okay. So shall I just hold? I tell you what, I'll let you show the issue. Let's treat this like we do every single issue.
Okay. I still can't believe all these people that are on there. It's amazing.
I'm glad I made you happy.
There's Chris there. Hello. I'm still stoked from the weekend we had away. That was really good. It was very hospitable. I can't think. What's the word?
Hospitable.
Hospitable, yeah. Very nice. Thank you, Chris.
I mean, I say I can't plan the surprise that you planned for me, but I just thought I'll prove that I can go behind your back as well and plan a little bit of a surprise.
I thought you were a bit quiet. Okay, so.
Happy with you, Alex.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Right. So. I'm off guard. It's all. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. Right. Okay. In this issue, we assembled parts supplied with issue 65 and 66. Seating for the right-hand side of the upper deck. Instructions for assembling the parts supplied with this issue will appear in 69. So.
So on that basis, I mean, it's the same as it's been the other two. Apart from the figure, it's been the same as the previous 2 weeks. I'm not going to open this because obviously, if I open it, we could lose parts. But let me show you. Hey, sorry, I haven't set my camera up yet. So this is what we've got this week. So for those of you that haven't got this one yet, it's the same as 66, which is the same as 65. So that's the showing of the parts off. So I'm going to put this somewhere safe for, I believe it's going to be next week. And then Horlicks is very kindly going to read through the instructions.
Okay.
While I chop these to pieces. And I've lost my cutter. Well, I was nearly fully organised today. So I have actually looked at the parts through the cellophane. They are all present. And the only thing I need to do is just open my bag of JP screws and pop them into the screw pot holder. So I'll let you take over, Horlicks.
Okay, so oh, that's a bit. Oh, okay. So it's it's basically saying to open both parts at once. So we'll have 65A and 66A, 65B, 66B, so forth. So yeah, obviously because they're the same. So we're all the right seat frames. The right seat frames there should 2 of. Right seat cushions, backrest, and seat support. And then obviously, yeah, JP screws. So it's starting with 65, obviously, that's what you've got.
Okay.
Fit a right seat backrest, 65D, to seat frame 65A. And obviously, we're going to fix them in place with 2 JP screws.
Okay. So I've tried to be getting these out while you were talking. I haven't quite finished. Now, it looks like all of the backs and all of the seats are identical. So they look to me absolutely identical. So I'll go with that. Obviously, that we know that these fit. We know that these fit absolutely perfect. So if they are in the wrong position, they just won't go. The differences I can see with the seats is that we've got 2 with a little knobbly bit on and 2 without.
I see. So I'm assuming that issue 65 and 66, they supply all the right seats, and then I'm guessing that the later issues, this issue and next week, will get all the left seats.
Yes. So basically, yes. Yeah, but from what I understand, if you just replace where the instructions say 65B, 65A, if you just replace 65 with 66,
yeah,
then obviously that's how you do the next stage. Can I ask a massive favor? Could the 4 wonderful, really appreciated guests just hit the mute button for a moment, because I seem to be getting feedback. If you wouldn't mind, Mark Knight's waiting for the innuendos. Right, so I've put down there we go. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking one of the backs, the seat without the knobbly bit, and the orientation in the magazine has this little bit further down, and that is going to go on like that. And we can see that the red bit is on the outside of the seat. So this is going to be in the middle of the bus there. So you've got the red bit there. And all of these are going to be really simple today. I'm afraid, which actually, to be honest with you, is a welcome change because we've had some really technical bits, really, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of concentration, especially trying to get that body to the frame.
So now I'm going to put the light on if you don't mind. So I'm using the J1, which is a nice big broad screwdriver head. And as I always do, when they're plastic parts, this one doesn't want to go in. I think I've got a little bit of flash on there. That's okay, I've pushed it through. So I'm just going to put it in just enough to bite. Then I'm going to put the second one in.
Can we get the focus better?
Sorry. Tell you what, if you just give me a moment, I'll load up the camera software.
Yeah, it's quite blurry for me, but I think that's just because Hangout for me is blurry anyway. So
yeah. What I'll do is I'll change it to a fixed focus there, which is a good, comfortable position for me to work in. So, sorry, bear with me. I'm not the fastest at this. Right, so how's that? About there? I think that's all right, isn't it? Right, so
Yeah,
I've put my two screws in just enough to bite. I'm happy that they're in okay. Careful though, I just pushed my finger on there and that bent that. That's not really hard. So now that I'm happy with that, I will just continue to screw them in just until the resistance gets tighter. There we go. I don't want to force these because it's plastic. And yeah, that's not moving. So I'm calling that stage 1 done.
brilliant. So
okay.
next we're going to fit a right seat cushion C into the seat of the same right seat frame A. Fix in place with 2 JP screws.
Okay, so that's simply one of these. And we'll check the fit. And just actually what I'm going to do, out of curiosity, that goes in fine. I'll check them all. That's fine. Oh, actually. Yeah. So if I check them all, then we'll know it doesn't matter which one we use. There you go. Okay, I'm happy with that. So, JP screw.
Yep.
Into the hole. Just enough to grab. Like so. Pop the second one in. Just enough to grab. So we know that's in place. There's a little locating peg there. Just make sure that peg is in. So just pop your finger on the top. Hold it in place. And then just screw until it goes tighter. Make sure that peg is still there. Obviously, we need to check that peg on the first one as well, which I forgot to mention. So that's gone tighter. And there's no movement there. So I'm happy with that. Okay. So, stage 3, I suspect we know how this is going to go.
Yes, so we're going to fit the seat support 65E onto the underside of the seat frame A. No, the rear leg of the seat support is shorter than the front leg to ensure that the seat slopes back slightly. Fix in place with 2 JP screws. But I think that doesn't matter, does it? Because there is a locating pin, if I remember.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm actually doing as you're talking, I'm just getting these all the same way round.
Brilliant. And then obviously, yeah, we're going to fix them in place again with JP screws.
Yeah. So as you can see, the locating peg is all in the same position, and the locating peg is actually off center. So if you pop it in the wrong way round, that's not going to go in because it doesn't line up with the screw holes and the locating peg. But if you have it the correct way round, it goes in nice and easy. So same as we were before, we're going to pop. You probably do need an extra finger for this. So we'll just pop the first screw in, just enough to bite. And then we'll get the second screw ready. Make sure that locating peg is still in. Give yourself enough room, just enough to bite. I'm happy that's in. And then continue to screw until we get a bit of resistance. Tighten the first one up. Oops. Yep, I'm happy that's not going anywhere. So there is one complete seat. Okay.
Okay, so the end of step 3, it says repeat steps 1 to 3 to make a second seat. And I couldn't really work that out because step 4 is talking about making another seat, but I think it's because you want another seat without the knobbly bit.
Right. I'm just looking at my copy of the magazine as well. Right, okay. So step 3 at the end is literally telling us to go back to stage 1.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do next is we're going to do this seat, which is another one without the knobbly bit. That will leave us the 2 seats with the knobbly bits. Okay, so we can go straight into this one then, can't we?
Yeah,
and go
for it.
From start to finish. So while I'm here, just for a bit of reassurance, I'm going to dry fit this. That's in fine. I'm happy with that. We'll dry fit this one. And then we'll dry fit this one. So that confirms that we can put any seat back onto any back of seats and any seat onto any of the seat. So I'll go with this one because I've already got it. So making sure that locating peg is lined up. Whoops. I can hear someone's budgie parrot bird thing. Would that be yours?
Oh, that's one of my little friends.
Oh, bless.
She's squawking up a storm.
I feel like I'm building this in the middle of the Amazon jungle now.
Yeah, good sound effect.
Well, Australia anyways.
Yeah. Right, so that is both in just enough to bite. However, there's no movement. So maybe that's a tighter fit than I thought. Or maybe I put it in at an angle. Right, that's in. There we go. And that, I think, is perfect. So we'll then proceed to the seat. Make sure the locating peg is in. So screw just enough to bite. Just enough to bite. Make sure that locating peg is still in. Okay, and I'm happy with that seat. The gap is nice there. It doesn't seem to be like, doesn't get bigger on one side. That just seems the same distance all the way through. So then we'll proceed with this bit. That's the correct way. Just enough to bite. And just enough to bite. Make sure that's in. The locating peg is still in place. So I think this is just a really chill back and relax issue.
Yeah.
Don't stress. Just have a cup of coffee on the go. And I can't see where it can go wrong. So I'm really happy with that. So there we have 2 seats. So both of these, I believe, are right seats. Yeah, they will be. They'll be on this side of the bus, which is the right, and they'll sit like this.
Yeah, it's quite clever, really, isn't it? Because I suppose if it made us start doing left and right seats in one issue, it'd be a bit confusing.
I think what's going to happen is these are all right seats. So you'll have one without a knobbly bit, one with a knobbly bit, one without, or the other way round. So you'll have the grab handles alternate.
Yeah.
I think when we did
shall we
a mixture of both.
Sorry, say that again.
I say when we did the lower deck seats, I think they gave us a mixture of both the left and right hand sides instead of just one all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't the next stage going to be the left? Yeah. Oh, I think these are going to all be the right hand side, and I think next week we'll be putting the left hand side.
Yeah. I think it's because there's more seats, isn't there, in this one on the top there? Because obviously,
yes, you've got the 8 seats down one side, 8 seats down the other. Then you've got 2 more. I think you've got 10 and 10. And you've got some rear seats, the seats that kind of they're behind the staircase on the other side. I think.
Yeah, you're right. I think.
Right. Shall we have a look at the next stage? I think we can probably all guess what it's going to be.
So, yeah, we need to take one of the seat frames, 65B, which is the one with the knobbly bit, fit the seat backrest, 65D, into the frame, fix in place with JP screws. So we're going to be doing exactly the same thing, but with the knobbly bits now.
Right. So let me just chuck a few more screws out.
There'll be 18 seats.
Pardon?
There'll be 18 double seats, making 36 in total.
Yeah. Right, so
I'm just going to switch my camera because I need to show off my lovely new T-shirt.
You do. You do. Get that T-shirt on view as much as you can.
Yeah, I think I've set it up right.
As we're going to repeat this, shall I just do both of the back seats? Both of these bits?
Yeah, I can't see why not. I think we've got a gist now of what we need to do, and so
now I've got quite a bit of flash on some of these seats. I've got a little bit there. You see, it's not quite. I don't know if you can see. It's not quite perfectly. If you can just push the last one, I just pushed the screw through. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'm going to do this properly. So if you don't want to just shove the screw in, just take that first screw out. Maybe we should check this beforehand, and then just get ourselves a round file, and then just gently, probably on the inside, just gently get your file, get the round one, and just run that around gently, and then that'll just get rid of the little bit of flash. And then we'll just double check that. Yeah, it's a little bit tight, but that screw is going to go in there, no problems. Right.
And then, of course, Fleetwood Joe will be modding his seat backs like he has done the rest of them. And
yeah, I've come up with an idea which I want to go through with the next, because the next seats are going to be the same. So I've just got an idea. I'm not going to go through with it, but I think we can, rather than screw these, I think we can glue them. In fact, I'll describe it on the next one while we've brought it up. So I've checked those. Everything's fine. So I'm going to tighten that up. There we go. Oops. There we go. Right, so that back is on fine. So what I'm thinking, if you want to modify the seat, and I think the easiest way to do it will be pop a little bit of glue on the tabs there. And I would recommend something like the Gorilla Glue. Sorry, not on the tabs. Basically, have a look at where there will be contact made. So there'll be, in this case, it will be all around. So gently put some glue all around there. and then pop that in, line it up, pop the screws in so that it will hold that in, and then tomorrow morning you can remove the screws, and then just what I would reckon would be the best would be 2-part epoxy. And the 2-part epoxy, the one that I buy anyway, is this blue and yellow stuff. This is, we affectionately call this green stuff, because when you mix the blue and the yellow, it goes green. And then what we'll do is we'll wet our fingers, we'll get a little bit off, and then we'll just push that into there, and it'll already be stuck down with the glue, and then we can rub that down, and then that will be nice and flat. That's probably going to be the best way to do it. I'm not going to, because I'm just going to do this one out of the bag, as I said. When I do my modified one, then I might consider doing it on that. So that one's in just enough to bite. As you see, I've got a big pile.
So many seats, it's obviously quite daunting task. But we've got Mr. Mod on board here, and he seems to do everything so superbly. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you're going to mod these seats, we've got this at a perfect time, because you got 4 issues last week. The first issue was the figure. So you'll take the figure out, you'll look at the figure, and you go, lovely, that's end of issue. So then maybe you could get on with these seats, and then the next day you'll be taking the screws out. The next day you can put the you know, it depends how much time you want to spend on it. Do you want to get, I mean, if you're going to be putting putty in, you've got to leave it overnight anyway. Right, so that's those 2 done. Are you happy with those?
Yeah, they look really good.
Yeah. And of course, this is one of those things that the more we do, the better it looks. So, as you love to show off your shirt, shall we just, we know what's coming next. Should I just put the seats on and then do the supports?
Yeah. So we're going to put the seat cushions on next, and then, yeah, the seat supports underneath.
And then that way you don't have to hide up your T-shirt, do you?
No, I absolutely love it. I really do love it.
I think it's kind of cool that we've got a uniform, so to speak.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. And it's, you know, I mean, I'm sure there'll be more adventures to come, but, you know, at least at the end of the build, I can have this and go, oh, I remember the day when we did the Wednesday show.
That's
anyway.
That was interesting. I don't know if that was me not lining up properly, but that screw completely missed the hole. So we'll try that again.
How's the brew? It's really nice. I've got them here. There's no room in the kitchen, so they're just sitting here next to me. So I might consider getting a kettle in there as well.
If you get a kettle in there, you'll never have a reason to leave your room. I remember my 14th birthday, my mum and dad bought me new furniture for the bedroom, TV. I mean, obviously we're going back a few years, so we had a TV and a video and a few other bits. And you know, as all parents do, I was a bit naughty a couple of weeks later, and my mum goes, "Go to your room," and I'm like, "Okay then, bye." Because I had everything I needed in my room: a computer, TV, video, cable TV. Oh, it was fantastic. So it was no longer a punishment being sent to my room.
No, that's it. I was always in mine at home. I had everything I needed. Well, I was quite late in getting things from my room. Like, I was quite late as a kid to get my own TV and video player. But I remember like it was yesterday, I had a VHS player, and I don't know about you, but they all used to give me an electric shock. Every time we tried to put a tape on, we got a belt from it. And then we took it, we thought it was faulty, so we went and got a new one. Well, Mum bought me a new one. and I was getting electric shocks from that as well. I don't know whether it was just a VHS thing, but
or maybe it's your electric personality.
Yeah.
Were you wearing wool socks?
Pardon?
Were you wearing wool socks?
Yeah.
Probably building up a static charge.
Maybe. Every time I went to put tape in, I'd be like, oh, I'd have to do it with a stick.
So what was your favourite film on VHS?
Oh, I was just talking about that. I had two I replayed over and over again, and I actually burned them out. My friend, one was Toy Story 1.
Okay.
And I burned that out. The other one was Dumb and Dumber. That was completely ruined. And the other one was, I think it was Look Who's Talking Now or something like that. One of those. One of the Look Who's Talking films. The one with the baby in it. Oh, obviously I know they're white babies, but no, I don't know if it had the baby and the pets, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. And of course Birds of a Feather as well.
Birds of a Feather, I remember.
I've got all of them on DVD.
I've got to be careful because I keep catching the bottom of these seat posts on the screwdriver. Right, so I have now completed 4 seats. I am extremely happy with those.
Brilliant.
So, your verdict?
Yeah, very good. So we've got 4 seats.
And I believe the next stage of the instructions is written with no pictures.
Yes, so then it just shows all 8 done. So yeah, we're going to do exactly the same again.
Oh, you've missed a bit out, Horlicks.
Have I?
You missed this bit out there.
Oh yeah. Hang on. Let me sort this.
Yeah, I am sorry. I do apologise. We are going to have to cut away from Horlicks' t-shirt for a moment.
Right, yeah, repeat steps 1 to 6 to assemble the parts supplied with issue 66.
Okay. So I am absolutely confident that these are absolutely the same.
Back in 5 minutes, guys.
Okay.
No worries, Dave. Right, so 1, 2, 3. Oh no. 4. I thought I lost the seat post there. Right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to launch straight into them. I'll do all of the backs, all of the seats, then all of the posts.
Okay. I think we're going to have to, because obviously I think the DeLorean build, it was the famous FM screws, but I think in this build, we're going to
famous AP this time.
Yeah.
Justice of the peace. Right, so
it's quite good as
lovely
well.
Lovely bit.
I know with DeLorean there was some screws that were actually misshaped, but with this build I haven't actually come across one yet.
What, misshaped screws?
Yeah, like heads
Okay.
that didn't have the cross bit put in them and stuff, and ones that were full of paint, and we haven't had any of that on this build.
Okay. Right, so I'm going to get all my seat backs out. Obviously, I'm giving these a bit of a QC check as I take them out. And then what I'll do is I'll leave the seats in the packet. Don't. What?
Peter Twyman said there's more seats than the Conservatives.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So anyway, you were saying, yeah, we were talking about films. My favorite films when I was a kid was literally anything with aircraft in them. I was a bit of an aircraft buff. Top Gun.
Ah, you're a girl after my own heart.
Yeah. And what was that one with So Far-Fetched, Louis Gossett Jr. and he teaches some kid how to fly an F-16 or something. And suddenly this kid on his own, he goes
Iron
out.
Eagle.
Iron Eagle, that was the one. So unrealistic, but such a great film.
They made too many sequels to.
Yeah. I don't like that screw. I've kind of slipped a little bit and I've scuffed the screw a bit. So I know I've got a spare one. So lesson there. Just go in nice and gentle. Sometimes you need to wiggle these seat backs as well because the hole doesn't quite line up.
Yeah, I kept going outside at work today because obviously because of the D-Day 75-year anniversary, we've got the planes coming over.
Oh, okay, lucky you.
Yeah, but I didn't see any. I mean, they kept delaying it, and I think they were originally due to come right over where I work at about 5 to 3. So everyone from work's all standing outside waiting for them all to come over, and there was nothing. And we thought, oh, maybe we're not on the flight path, but then we're very near it because it was coming over from Maidstone. But there was nothing there. I didn't hear anything, and then someone shouted out the window saying, "Oh no, it's 3:30 now." Then it turned into 4. Then it turned
back to work.
Yeah, so then we went back in. Then the news said we're leaving, and it would be 4:30. And then it turned into 5 o'clock. I think there was a delay. So I ended up missing them because we left work at 5, and they still hadn't been over. So unfortunately,
okay, you pretty much got a whole day of standing outside.
Well, no, I was working all day. We only went out briefly because we thought, well, we'd hear them and we can run out. But unfortunately, I missed them. They must
what
have
were you expecting? A Lancaster Spitfire, Hurricane, and Red Arrows?
I don't know. There was no Red Arrows.
Okay.
I think there was going to be a Spitfire and then Hurricane.
A bunch of Dakotas.
Sorry?
A bunch of Dakotas.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was 75 of them. Yeah, 75 in total. But we didn't see any, unfortunately. So missed them. But it was quite cloudy and overcast. But, I mean, I think we still would have seen them. Because I would have assumed they would have flown quite low. But
yeah.
It's just one of them things like, probably, it'd be the only time in my lifetime that happens. But couldn't see it, unfortunately. That was a bit disappointing.
See, I just had a day of stupid people. I had one strange lady. She's kind of, when you get that odd one that sticks out in your mind. She gets on and she says, 1 adult, 1 child single. So I said $290. She went, what, for the child? I went, no, it's $290. She says, I don't understand. I said, well, that's the total price. And she says, what, each? And I said, no. I said, look, if you go into Poundland and you bought 5 items, would they say to you, that's £5, please? Or would they say that's £1, £1, £1, £1, and £1? And she said, well, let's say that's £5. I went, exactly, £2.90, please.
Yeah.
And then I had this other girl, college student, get on. And she shows me her college ID. And I went, okay, yeah, that shows me you're a college student. And then she shows me her bus pass and she puts 50p in the machine. I'll just pause my story there because I've done the seat backs. You may have noticed I was playing with the file. The little hole on 3 of them wasn't cut perfectly. I don't know if it was flash or if it's actually like that. So be interested to know, did everybody else have a perfectly round hole? But all I did was I just pushed the file in and just filed it until it was round. Ever so simple.
Yeah, the molds are probably wearing out a bit.
Yeah. Well, they're obviously using this particular mold is being used 3 times more than the others.
Oh, yeah.
And if these are all manufactured in China, they're probably not going to be the best quality they can be. But yeah. So this girl, she she didn't put enough money. She put like 50 pence in, and she's going, and I said, well, you need more money than that. And she said to her friend, oh, she goes, oh, we'll have to get off. And then she looks at me and she says, can you let me off of 30p? And I went, well, no. I said, because I'm going to have to let you off 70p. And she goes, oh, but it's 80p. I said, no, it's £1.20. And she said, it's 80p. I said, no, it's £1.20. So she goes, no, it's 80. Because this is how students go. They just repeat themselves until you give up. So she just keeps going, oh, 80p. And I said, look, I said, let me put it this way. I am the bus driver. I am charging you £1.20. So she just looked at me and got off the bus. So I thought, okay, fair enough then. So yeah, it's been a bit of an odd day, but apart from that, it's been all right. And I discovered this new sandwich shop. Friday, one of the girls was eating a sandwich from this little sandwich shop on the market, and this sandwich looked absolutely awesome. It was only like a something salad sandwich on tiger bread. So yesterday I go in and I thought I'll give them a try, and had a ham salad sandwich. She goes, oh, do you want onion on it? I said, yeah, go on then, spoil me. And I took it back to the canteen and I ate it, and I said, oh, it was absolutely amazing. It was like everything was fresh out of the oven, like earlier that day, or just picked from the farm or whatever. And I went back today and I had a beef sandwich, and she said, oh, how was your sandwich yesterday? I said, put it this way. I said, have you ever had a sandwich that was so nice you can't wait till lunch the next day? And she went, oh, was that good? Was it? I went, yeah. So, but it was just a bit too big for me.
Yeah,
so
we've got a shop like that, but they shut down, unfortunately. But yeah, I know what you mean. Everything was freshly prepared, and it's just the best sandwich ever.
Yeah, I mean, quality, you can't underestimate quality in ingredients, can you?
I mean, obviously you can get some nice pre-made ones, but they're just not the same, are they? Because they're made like a day or two beforehand. And
I mean, the thing is, a lot of these pre-made ones, they're made in a factory. They're all standing in the line. You've got one person does the butter, one person does the mayonnaise, one does the lettuce, one does the cucumber, and it's just production line. But when you go to a little handmade sandwich shop and you talk to the person, you get to know them, they kind of have a vested interest in your sandwich then, don't they? Right. Almost there. Oh, no, they've just got the seat bottoms to do. And so far, there has been no hitches whatsoever. This has been an absolute dream to do. Yes, it's the same thing over and over, as in doing a screwing in. But I've always keep saying, I don't like, if you have one where you have a screwdriver and one where you're positioning things, and this isn't too technical, but it makes it, if it was like this every single week, I'd probably be quite bored.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but as you start to get a bit bored of just screws, suddenly you have something else come up, and then as you get bored of that, then they bring back screws, and I think they are varying it just. I don't know if they meant to do it like that, but it just seems just right. Just as you start to get fed up of doing one thing, they switch and change it.
Except sometimes their order of building things is a little screwy. Remember the engine?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that sometimes, but there's been a couple of times when I've thought, that doesn't seem right. And then a couple of weeks later, you're like, yeah, now I know why they've done it that way. Right, we are almost finished this issue, which then means we can get to the part that I'm most looking forward to.
It's just something says, what's tiger bread, anyone? It's a bit like a baguette, unless you're joking, of course. I mean, I don't know if it's a...
but
it's like a baguette. It's like a baguette that's got like cracks in it, and I don't know really why I think it's just because of how it looks.
I think it's the way it cracks,
Yeah.
kind of a little bit tigerish, but it's like very, very, very crusty roll, but the bread inside is like really, really soft.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to bite through the crust really hard, and then all of a sudden it's like biting through fresh air.
Yeah. It's basically like a baguette, isn't it? But it's just like extra crispy.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I get a baguette, cut it in half, and then I pull out the foamy bit and the bread in the middle.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then I
because
put
if
butter
you,
on it.
if you did like quite often what people will do is they'll get a bread roll, especially something like tiger bread, a tiger roll, and they'll just cut the top off, like sort of about there, scoop the inside out, and then fill the inside with soup or something.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Or stew. Fill it with stew. That's really good. Nice stew.
I always take always get all the bread out of the middle, roll it up, and then I put a load of I have to have Lurpak butter. I love that. Spread a load of that on and eat it, and then you've got more room for your filling in the roll.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I treated myself to the other day, and Americans may have no idea what I'm talking about, but crumpets.
Oh yeah, bovril, butter and bovril, or lots of cheese.
No, for me, just butter. What you got to do is you got to cook it in the toast until it's almost burnt, so you get that really hard crust, and then you just slap on loads of butter straight from the fridge, really, really cold. Put loads of it on, so by the time you finish your last crumpet, you've got this big puddle of butter on the plate.
Yeah, I love putting cheese on it. Well, melting the cheese into the holes.
So welcome to the Good Food Guide.
Yeah.
This week we will be discussing. Right. Okay. So I've popped my screws away, and that is my seats complete for this week.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
That's good.
And I'm all right with those. I think they're fine. Obviously, you've got this bit which you want to modify, but what I would recommend is if you want to modify this, check your seat, check where the point of contact is, apply a little bit of glue. Very, very thin epoxy might be the best thing because you've got a little bit more drying time then. Then you can pop them on, pop the screws in, and then the next day, leave it 24 hours and then remove that screw. This should be firmly attached. Would you feel the need to do the same with the bottom? I don't
never see them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then you can remove those screws the next day. And then I'll just go through this very, very quickly. If you're going to use green stuff or two-part epoxy, this is really bad for tiny amounts, but basically what you're going to do is you are going to cut a slice off like so. And this is basically two pieces of different clay that won't set until they meet each other. But what you want to do is cut that middle bit out, because what you tend to find where they've been in contact with each other, it's a little bit hardy. Obviously you can't see the hardness, but there's a little bit of hard bit. When you try to mix it, you end up with crumbs. You can actually feel a little, it's like little, this bit there is rock solid. So that's waste. And then what you want to do is just squeeze these two together, and it gets a little bit softer. It does dry your fingers out, so just keep dipping your fingers in. Don't soak your hand. Mark and I saying that's Plumber's epoxy. It might well be, but this will go rock solid when it's dry. But you can see it's starting to go green, and that's obviously where the blue and the yellow was mixed. Anyone who knows the colors will know that blue and green mixed makes green. Blue and yellow. Did I say blue and yellow?
No, you said blue and green.
Yeah, I meant blue and yellow.
Yep.
So it's becoming very sticky. So just keep your fingers a little bit wet. and just keep going. Once you think it's absolutely perfect, give it 4 or 5 more squidges and just keep folding it into itself. So kind of fold and squeeze, fold and squeeze, fold and squeeze. And then when you've got that ready, roll it out into a sausage. It does go a long way. And then just cut a little bit off. And then what you can do is you can push that into the hole. Obviously, there'll be no screw there. I haven't got anything with a hole in it. I'm looking again. Right. So if I was going to fill this up, what I would do is I would just push that into there. As you can see, that's not enough in there. So then we can just add a little bit. Push that in. Really try and push it right in, get into the gap. And then tomorrow, if you want me to keep this for next week, I'll show you what it's like. But all we'll do is we'll just sand that down. You can use a plastic putty. I haven't, or liquid putty. The problem I find with those is they do tend to shrink a little bit because they've got quite a high water content. And that will plug that hole in. In fact, while I've got all of this, let's see how much we can. You've seen this before, haven't you, Horlicks?
Yeah.
So that's basically, it's got the consistency of plasticine at the moment. But what I'll do is I'll leave that till next week, and we'll play with that next week when it's set. Really, I mean, it'll take overnight to set, but I'll leave that till next week, and then we'll have a little play with it.
Understand that.
So yeah, and that's 2-part epoxy. You can get it from Citadel, Games Workshop, but it is quite expensive. I got this. I think there's a company called Green Stuff World, and they sell all kinds of things, but they sell this big old bit for only a few quid. So are you guys happy with that issue?
Yeah.
Is there anybody who wants me to go through anything? Fleetwood J is saying that he used Wonderfill from Amazon. I will give that a look. So, Dave, your thoughts?
Brilliant. Nice, easy build.
Welcome build.
Well, we get a long way very quickly with them seats, don't we?
Yes, yeah. In 2 weeks, we're going to have all of the practically all of the seats.
Practically, yeah. Really good, I think, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and they seem to come a little bit quicker than the bottom seat. Didn't we get three seats, and then the 2 seats in the bench?
No,
Yeah, there was big gaps, weren't there?
it was 4 and 4 and then 2.
Oh, 4 and 4 and 2. Okay. So I am going to grab this box, which is the box that my PETG came in. And I'm going to use this for the seats because next week we will have 8 more seats, but we won't be attaching them to anything. So I just want to try and keep these as neat as I can. I mean, obviously I could just chuck them on the shelf and they'll be quite safe but you see, I've just popped them in a little box there. Right, so anybody else want to make a comment to that? Adrian or Chris?
That's good, that is,
Yeah. Something you're looking forward to, Chris, because you're about, what, 8 issues behind everybody?
I'm up to 50. I go up to 54 at the moment.
So you've got that coming in about, quite a few weeks, about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, Chris is at the same stage as me because I've got. I mean, obviously, I haven't filmed them all, but I have got up to issue 54. They came the other day.
Yeah, the 17th. Yeah. Thursday or Friday, mine came, yeah.
And obviously, I've got old Twiggy as well. So that'll be another issue.
I got that as well.
Right, Horlicks, do you want to do a catch up on the comments? I know you're so good at it.
Yeah, I did say earlier.
Alex.
Pardon?
Wizards of Oz. You what?
Puts it away.
Right. Right, here we go. Right, where are we going to go from? The beginning?
Go from wherever you feel fit.
Beginning of my end.
Okay. Right, so Chris Camplin, hello.
You can see why I've given the job to you now, can't you? And I haven't done it myself.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'll be doing the blah, blah, blah. Right, no. Hello to, well, obviously hello to everyone who we haven't said hello to, because we just got straight into the build, didn't we? So we got Mark Knight, Peter Diamond, obviously Fleetwood, who's on the panel. Chris Davies, hello. Obviously on the panel. Steve Hyson, Chris Camplin, Stuart Sullivan, hello. Paul C70, hello. Ian Martin, Caldecott Bus Spotters, hello. Andy M, hello. P40F20 who's in the chat. Dave Milne, hello. Who else have we got here? All lots. James Tubridy, hello.
Hello, James.
And we've got Levi Otter, hello. David Trapp, hello, how are you? Matthew Borum. Oh, Mark Osborne, hello. I bet I'm going to forget someone.
Sorry, I meant to say, Fleetwood, you can take your mic off mute now if you want. It was just while we were building, we were getting feedback off somebody.
I think that's everyone on the chat. Obviously, we've got Adrian Langley who's in the panel. Obviously, Dave Say. And right, so that's who I think we've got. I hope I haven't missed anyone. Probably. I'm sure you'll tell me.
Yeah. Well, you know, we don't deliberately miss anybody. In fact, you've caught a couple of people that I missed, Horlicks.
Okay, there's a lot of jokes flying about.
Yeah.
My wife has Paul C70. My wife has 5 legs. Her knickers fit like a glove. Okay. Ian Martin. Sorry, must have forgotten you. Hello. Thank you. He said happy birthday. Thank you very much.
21 again, you, Alex.
Pardon?
21 again, you.
Yeah, that's it.
21 again.
Yeah, obviously P40F20 said all matching shirts. Fleetwood said the twins.
I was thinking that myself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Peter Diamond said we're like twins with these shirts on.
Stand back, lad. Reg and Blake.
What was that, sorry?
Stand back, lad. And Blakey off on the bus, isn't it?
Mark Knight said that I haven't got a mug, I've got a ruddy swimming pool. One isn't as big as the other one. This is like half the size.
That's the kiddie pool.
I can get it around one hand pretty much. Yeah.
I'm just going to interrupt you a second because Chris has reminded me that he's did a bit of a mess up on his channel for Terminator. Chris, I've got a little present for you. Adrian's been getting me with the Terminator. I want to build the head. I'm not interested in the build, but I do like the head. So he's been helping me get bits. So I've got the fingers that I'm not going to use from issue 10. So if you want me to send that to you, I can do that, but I can't help you with the hand. But yeah, if that helps you at all, Chris. Roger Kendall. Oh, Roger Kendall. We missed him. So everyone say hello, Roger Kendall.
Hello, Roger.
Hello.
Hello.
Right. So
Paul said he's got
any-
one of these t-shirts and two turned up.
Like a band.
And then there's so many comments to try and catch up on. I'm just going to have to skip through a bit. So if anyone said something that they want us to bring up, please, sorry, but yeah, just type it again. Bismarck and Terminator today.
Yeah, I think the Bismarcks and the Terminators, they're most part works I notice. Issue 1 seems to be like a mix of parts that shows off the metal and the plastic. It's a bit of a showcase. Because they generally show you what you're getting in issue 2, 3, and 4 in issue 1, they tried to make those nice. And I think it went the same way with the Routemaster as well. When you get to about issue 10 to 15, it becomes a little bit slower and then it picks up again. So I'm really not surprised that the Bismarck and the Terminator was going that way.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it'll pick up again. But there's so much detail coming out on that. I'm really jealous of it. You know, it's not, it doesn't speak to me, but the model looks absolutely amazing. So if I had the money.
I think that's the thing with all these part works, isn't it? You've got to just concentrate on a few rather than so many, really.
Yeah, I mean, we say this over and over again. You've got to look at the entire part work. You've got to look at what it's going to cost you for the whole part work. And then don't look at the... I've noticed there's a couple of YouTubers are beginning to slip back to the, well, I don't think that's good value for money with that issue. No, you've got to look at the whole build. Because if we start doing that with Routemaster... but again, people value things differently. These figures that we get, they're a bit naff in the sense that we're not building anything. But if you bought that as a model, you probably wouldn't get that for less than 10 or 15 quid. But it's the value. It's not worth 10 or 15 pounds to me as a single figure. But I mean, some of the figures I've bought, this isn't the exact one, but if this was a character model in Warhammer, this would cost you £15 easy. So, you know, if that's £15 and that's good value for money because of the detail, and that's 9, you know, you can see the value there, can't you?
Yeah.
But it always boils down to what is the value to you. I know a guy at work that collects the Routemaster, and every time he gets the figures, he just rings up Routemaster and says, or Hachette, sorry, and says, I don't want the figures. And he sends them back and they credit him $8.99, but he has to kick up a fuss for it. And he's gone, I'm buying Bill the Routemaster, and he doesn't want the figures. So the value of the figures to him is 0. Mark Knight has just said, wouldn't it be funny to have some scaled down stormtroopers? It's funny you say that. I found some 1 to 12 scale figures that would be more comedy than anything else. I found some stormtroopers, R2D2, C3PO. I found Bruce Lee, and I have found, and I'm tempted to buy this, Stan Lee. I am very tempted to have a Stan Lee standing on the back platform. So, is that something that you guys would be interested in, perhaps? I think the Stan Lee figure, if we took that and painted his grey hair a colour to make him look younger, I think that wouldn't be out of place on the bus, would it?
No, it would.
Inspector Blake be good.
Pardon?
Inspector Blake.
Yes. Well, I wonder if we will get an Inspector figure. So, we'll do some present opening, because this is the moment I've been waiting for.
Oh, present openings, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, guys, I've been really, really excited about this. Before you open this, Horlicks, this is not from your wish list. right? This is something completely different. It's not, like I say, it's not on your wish list. I have listened to you over the last 6 months, and I've picked up on things that you've said. It may not be exactly what you want, but I'm confident you will like it. And I probably just put you off now and made you really worried, but off you go, get opening.
Well, how do you want me to do it? Shall I change the camera to my desk view?
Well, yeah, we want to see you open it, but we want to see your facial expression as well, because it's when people go, "Oh, lovely, thank you very much." No, I just want to hear your honest thoughts. I think you'll like it, but it's not something. So I thought if I bought something off your wish list, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? So come on then.
Well, I'll start down here, and then I'll once it's open, I'll bring you up because I was going to. Yeah, this came Sunday, wasn't it? And
yeah, I was surprised at Sunday delivery, but
I haven't tampered with it. It's still sealed.
Good.
I didn't peek or anything.
I nearly messaged you yesterday to say, "Oh, what are you up to? Come on, let's get and open it."
Yeah.
Going to be back in another 10 minutes, guys. All right.
Yeah, no problems, Dave. You're just going to miss the unboxing, though.
Thank you. All right. I'll have to catch up.
Right. So, or do you want to do you want to do something else for 10 minutes until it comes back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall we have a chat for 10 minutes?
Yes, we could do.
All right, let's chat about something else then.
Well, this isn't going anywhere, so I'll just keep it here.
I'll tell you what we haven't done, man.
Oh, the suspense.
I'll tell you what we haven't done, Horlicks, and that's next week's issue.
Oh yeah, okay, let's do that. So
next week's issue. Duh.
I haven't got.
Yeah. Okay, but you know, it'll fill 30 seconds, won't it?
So we complete the assembly of the seats for the upper deck using parts supplied with issues 68 and 69.
So we basically are going to be doing the same as we've done this week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show you the magazine, but I thought it was quite a nice magazine this week. And something that kind of I picked up on. Obviously, I'm a bus driver, and without even thinking, I use lots of terms which are just ordinary terms for me. But it actually goes through a definition of terms in the magazine, and I think I'll read them out to you. We don't use all of them anymore, or you know, we have different names for them, but it's quite interesting. And you've got duty, which is the work scheduled daily for the performance of each individual crew. Duties may or may not be provided with an unpaid period of relief. And according to whether or not such a break of duty occurs, they will be described as split or straight through duties. So for me, a duty is today I started work at 6:40 and I finished at 5 past 7. So that was my duty, and it was number 107. Now they allocate numbers to the duties, and it's a split duty, so there was a 4-hour break in the middle. A duty spell is one of the two portions of work comprising a split duty, separated from the other spell by a period of relief. So basically, most duties just you do a load of work, you have a break, and then you have a load more work. So that's 2 duty spells. We tend to refer to them these days as first half, second half. And if there's a 3-parter, then we'll call it. On splits, if we do a 3-parter, one of the parts will be a school bus. So we'll refer to that as first half, second half, and school bus. Duty hours is the total amount of duty time scheduled, inclusive of all time allowances. So for me, my duty hours is 12 hours. Obviously, I don't get paid that because I've got the break in the middle. Duty classification, which is something I've not actually heard. Oh, duty classification is refers to when you're working. So usually they're referred to as early, middles, or lates. An early tends to be anything that starts before 8. A late shift tends to be anything that finishes after 9 o'clock. And everything in the middle is obviously a middle. Most split shifts tend to be roughly the same time. So splits are just called splits. Chris, I haven't seen your message yet.
Stuart Solomon said, let's guess the gift. And then Peter Diamond said,
okay. So yeah, have a guess at the gift if you want. So you got normal or slack hours. Sorry, say that again.
The box is a rather unusual shape.
The back's an unusual shape.
The box. Yeah, I was thinking.
Oh, the box. Yeah. You want to show off the gift again? I'll tell you what. You show us your gift, and then I'll carry on talking through about the terms, and you can have a little look at it. And yeah. So yeah, normal or slack hours is the period of the day other than the peak hours when the traffic conditions are normal. So for us, slack hours are sort of 10 p.m. till about 2 p.m., which is generally the times when the split drivers aren't working. So obviously you've got your rush hour in the morning and in the afternoon, and then you've got your so normally you'll find you can have a little bit less running time because you're not going to be stuck in traffic. Relief period is an unpaid period of a split duty or any normal duty. Usually it's your dinner time relief period. But a relief point is the point where you change drivers. For us, it's always at the bus station. But when I worked in Norwich, because all of the routes used to go through the city centre and then on to a different destination, our relief points would be in the city centre. So what would happen is the bus would pull up at the bus stop. All the customers get excited and they start to get on the bus. And the driver says, no, don't get on the bus. We're changing drivers. And then you've got garage. Now, they call it garage runs. And it's where you're running between the garage and a stage, say the terminus back to the garage. Usually first thing in the morning or last thing at night where you're leaving the depot. We just call it a dead run or running dead. It's basically it's dead mileage where the company's not earning any money. What tends to happen with bus companies is that when the bus is running along a route, they can claim the tax back on the fuel that they've used for that run. But the dead run between the garage and the start point, they can't claim they can't claim the tax back on that because they're not running in service. So that's why it's dead. It's costing the company money. And that's about it, really. That's all the technical terms I can think of. But I did find that quite interesting. We've got some other terms. I can't remember all of them. But different depots have different terms as well. For example, inspectors will get called different things depending on where you work. Duty manager, shift manager, inspector, But you use any of those terms, people tend to know what you mean. I just call them inspectors, and people go, no, it's a supervisor. No, I just call them inspectors. So I work at a company where they still give you a little slip if they book you. You must have heard of the term booking someone. It's where they give them like a disciplinary. And if they're going to give us the old-fashioned slips where they book us, then I'll use the old-fashioned termed inspector. So, Mark Knight, is it a mini Horlicks printed one that's trying to keep up with the build? Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Stuart Sullivan is saying he thinks it's a work tool holder. A tool rack for part build tools. That's a good guess.
Funny you should say that. I printed. Well, no, I haven't printed at all. But I was trying to. I had to restore my computer earlier because I opened up Ultimaker, the Cura, because I was going to print a tool holder, and obviously it wanted to upgrade Cura, because I think there's a problem with that, isn't there, at the moment?
Yes. Now it's funny because my printer's gone wrong, and it went wrong round about the point when we updated Cura. Now normally you get an update on Cura roughly every couple of months, and I mean, I don't think this has solved it, but Cura did an update about 2 weeks after the previous update, and a lot of people were reporting problems. And there's a couple of YouTube videos of people saying, I've switched over to this new program since Cura's updated. I mean, I don't get this new program, so I'm still using Cura, but yeah, I think Cura kind of cocked up on their last update.
Yeah, they've bought a new one out, so I assume. I mean, I haven't tried prints. Well, actually, I have done a print since, but I thought today I'd crack on because I can't even show you because you might be able to see it. All my tools up there are just overflowing out of this plastic thing. So
Yeah.
I thought, I want to print like a tool organizer, and I opened it up, and then obviously it wanted me to do an upgrade, and then I accidentally wiped all my settings because when you
That's cool.
yeah, when you install, it says, "Oh, do you want to keep your current settings?" And I accidentally pushed no. I was like, no.
Oh, no.
So I had to reverse my computer back 3 days so that it was still there. But
Right.
thing is, this is going to take like a day and 21 hours.
Is there any
Wow.
infill in that, or is that solid?
It's 100% infill. That's
Right.
what it tells you to print on.
Have you considered?
But there's lots of
What's your nozzle? What's your line height?
I don't know.
Just out of curiosity, change that to a 0.3 layer height and then reslice it. Probably take that down to about a day. Maybe a day and 10 hours. Yeah.
Day 6 hours.
I think what you want to do is print a benchy in 0.2 and then print a benchy in 0.3, because that Ultimaker, that is really, really good quality. And I would like to bet that your 0.3 layer height will be better quality than my 0.2. I mean, I can get really good quality out of like a 0.05 mil layer height, but and because I seem to be having problems with temperature and it's blocking the nozzle, and I've been using a 0.8 mil nozzle, which means I can get away with doing a 0.8 mil layer height, and it's actually not awful quality. And it's certainly, you can see it whizzed around, and it's really, really good.
Yeah.
So if you're doing something that's more functional than looks, I think you might want to consider a higher nozzle, a higher layer height.
Mm.
But you do potentially run into problems with, if you've got your layer height more than half of your nozzle, you can potentially run into problems. But I do it all the time.
But I think this would be ideal because it's got a little pot for my screwdrivers, big enough holes for pliers and things, and
yeah,
got this little flat bit here that I can keep my oil and my super glue in.
Yeah,
it's just a compartment for everything. There's even a flat compartment at the back that I could put something in, like paperwork or
yeah.
Or cut.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. That's really good.
I think that's to stick a cutting mat in, actually, if you've got an A4 one.
So what's that about? 100? How wide is that? 165?
Oh, I don't know.
That ain't going to be little, is it?
165 times 127.
You might have to send me that file and I'll have a look at that. So I can see Dave drinking a cuppa, so that can mean only one thing, Horlicks.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. So what are our final guesses on the present? And what are you guessing it is, Horlicks?
I've got no idea, Penny. I don't even
have a little guess
the last
and
6
tell
weeks.
me how disappointed you'd be if you didn't get that. What you guess?
Pardon, what was that?
Have a guess what it is, and then tell me how disappointed you'd
I've
be
got an
if you
idea.
didn't get.
I really well. I can't guess.
Okay, I'm not going to put you under too much pressure to guess.
Because the thing is, you said that you've been listening to me for the last 6 months, but don't think I've mentioned anything in 6 months.
You have. You've mentioned the notes. Right, come on, get and open it then. Let's just get and open it.
Okay. It's brilliant, Horlicks. Right, okay. So
here we have a package. So this is your last chance, guys, for guesses.
Like guess so.
And I'm going to guess that it is a sample of PETG filament.
sample.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get a whole roll in there, are you?
It's just a weird shape, isn't it? Maybe it's a box of chocolate.
Yeah, but you've got to remember the people who package these are weird themselves, aren't they?
I think it's a box of chocolates. Isn't like dairy milk shaped like this?
You think it's a box of chocolate? Okay. And how disappointed would you be if it isn't chocolates?
Extras.
I'm not going to be disappointed at anything. I think it's amazing to get a gift.
What did you say it was, Chris?
You know the orange screwdriver extras, what do you want in the case?
That's a good guess. What do you reckon, Adrian? Have you got a guess?
No.
I'm not sure if Adrian's got sound.
Yeah, I just heard him. He said no.
Okay. What about you, Mark? PP40F20.
Some kind of a case.
Okay. I like your guesses. Do you want to have a guess, Dave?
Yeah, I would go for a case as well, yeah.
All right, then. Go on, then. Get and open it, Horlicks. I'm really excited now. Because obviously I do know what's in it.
Yeah. But maybe it's a pill, a deluxe pill organizer full with screws.
Well, I like that guess as well.
I like that one as well, that's good.
Well, okay, let me get on.
Right, are you a fast opener? Are you like rip it right open, or are you a nice careful opener?
These are quite good from Amazon because you can just pull the tab and everything falls out. So
yeah, go on then.
A pull.
Get it falling out then.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we.
So
This is
ready?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is that? It is. It's a 3D pen.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. If these are really, that is, amazing. But do you know what? Because down here, one of the things on my Amazon wish list was a sample pack of rainbow coloured filament, which someone has got me from my wish list. So I've got loads of different colours there because obviously my printer runs on bigger diameter filament. So for like a 3D pen, it uses like 1.75. So that was on there. And then this, I had a 3D pen on my wish list as well.
Yeah.
No, I will be honest. I don't know if it's as good as the one on your wish list, but hopefully it is. But saying that, mine I didn't think was going to be that good, and I love mine. Mine's paid for itself.
Yeah, it's got.
This is the point where Horlicks doesn't talk now because he's just concentrating on his gift so much. So we've lost Horlicks now.
Oh, it comes with filament in it and everything. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to play with it now, but I need to read the manual and stuff because I'm new to these. But yeah, that's amazing.
So I am expecting a YouTube video, an introduction to 3D pen.
That'd be cool. Awesome.
Now, I remember when you said you got the filament and you were really chuffed that someone had got you the filament, but you can't do anything with it yet because it's You haven't got the 3D pen.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just something that I've just really wanted to have an experiment with, play with, and as you say,
Yeah.
like welding if you do any 3D projects and stuff, and
Awesome.
yeah, it's really good. Thank you so much. That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I'll have a play with that at some point. But yeah, a non-blocked design. Oh, nozzle. Oh, so it's got a non-block nozzle design.
Okay, I don't quite know what that means, but
It would never block. But yeah, because of course you can't change. I suppose you can't change the nozzle on these like you would a 3D printer. So I suppose.
I think the big expensive flashy ones you can, but this is, I'll be honest with you, it's more of a bottom of the range one. I suspect it's the same as mine, that you might have different speeds, but you've essentially got forwards and backwards.
Yeah.
But have a play with it. I mean, it might be better than mine. You don't know. And then I might be really jealous that you've got a better 3D pen than me, and I'm the one who bought it for you.
Yeah, no,
There was nothing more than that, is it?
that's a
Someone's got
good
something
question.
better than you, and you bought it for them. But if you get any failed prints, then yeah, just have a play with it. That's what I did. But yeah, Mark says always best to have a play with it. Did it come with any patterns to make things with?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I'm disappointed then. Send it back.
Yeah, but you can do it with anything, though, can't you? You just print something out on paper.
If you get any failed prints, just blame Penny.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to do with Routemaster, but I've got an update for you as well. I've got a good and a bad update, actually. Firstly, I am really struggling with my YouTube channel, mainly R2D2, mainly because of my printer. So I think I'm going to have to stop doing R2D2 for a while. I'm actually going to be saving up for a new printer. Not too expensive, but it'll be a good little. I mean, I've always wanted a second printer anyway. I'm just getting failed. In fact, I'll show you what I got over the weekend. This is my prints for the weekend. It's just every single print failed pretty much at the same point, and I've tried. That's probably the best print I got. This is R2D2. They've got like a jabber tray, and you got this tray that goes on top of R2D2 to sort of turn him into a table. And I was trying these out, and the best results I've got is with 100% infill. But yeah, that's all I produce. So I think the best thing to, obviously I'll make a video to the effect, but I'm actually going to stop doing R2D2 for probably be a couple of months while I get the printer sorted out. Once I get the small printer sorted out, I'll be looking at getting another big printer, and then I'll strip that whole printer down. I've got another trick that I'm going to try, which is Horlicks knows a lot more about this than me, but a thing called PID. It's something to do with the temperatures. And I'm going to try that today or tomorrow. I've got this new 10 meter. I've got to run a USB cable from my computer to my printer, and I don't want to disconnect all my computer. So I bought a 10 meter USB cable and run it to the printer. So that might do the job. I've got a feeling what's happening is obviously you've got some kind of thermostat in there, so that when the temperature drops too much, it heats it up. Excuse me. And then obviously once it gets to the temperature, it stops heating. So it's always constantly heating and not heating. And I think what's happening is it's not registering. It's heating up and registering the temperature, but the temperature's dropping, but the printer's not noticing it. And as a result, the nozzle's getting blocked. but it seems to be, when you print like say 3 bottom layers and it just prints it solid, and then it starts to put infill on, and it does the infill okay, and then as it starts to print more different shapes on the top, that's where it all goes funny, which is why things like this has come out okay, because that is, in fact, this one actually might be 100% infill, but things like this, it's a really simple print. It's not got little shapes on it. So
You've checked the tension on the feeder, have you?
Yeah, I've the feeder, and I've replaced the hot end. The hot end is exactly the same problem. I've tried a larger nozzle, which I'm getting better results, because obviously, like, as the filament cools down, it becomes thicker. Once it gets down to a certain temperature, the plastic gets too thick. But obviously, like, say for example, when the temperature gets down to say 120, it won't squish that through a 0.4 nozzle, but it can still push it through, say, a 1mm nozzle. So I am getting better results with a larger nozzle, but larger nozzle means I can't get good detail. So I think the best thing is just to put R2 on hold, and then get the printer sorted out, and then pick that up again. And also Hermione, I'm having a lot of problems with, mainly because of the planking, and also because I've been spending a lot of time on the printer. So I haven't decided what I'm going to be doing with the Hermione yet. I might change that to a video a fortnight, which means I don't know which video I brought out, which YouTube video I brought out, but I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one issue will be painting, and one issue will be planking, and then the next one will be painting. That's to give me 2 weeks to get the next stage of planking sorted out. If I get the video schedule to fortnightly, it'll then give me 4 weeks to get the planking done, and then the Flying Scotsman and Millennium Falcon and Harley, I will still continue those as normal. But I think rather than just keep getting frustrated over, I was about 5 weeks ahead on my videos, and now I'm 2 weeks ahead, and I'm getting more and more frustrated, and I'm trying to get things caught up, and I can't. And it's just putting me more and more in a muddle, and I think it's just a really good time to just go stop. Yeah.
You got so much on the go, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah, and the problems are burning me out as well. So yeah, I will be doing a video to explain this, but yeah, I'm just going to put R2, and I think I'll put Hermione out fortnightly, and I'll just put R2 on hold. I'd rather put him on hold. He takes longer and he comes out really well, and I can still do. See, I've got loads of bits that I printed off that I can't do anything with, like the ring around the top. I can't do that until I've put together the third ring. But I might actually start to put some of those bits together and just pop a video just to keep something going, say maybe once a month for about 3. But I'm anticipating, because I'm on holiday in September. So I'll pop round to Chris's again in September. I'll be back on the Monday. That will give me a good 5 or 6 days off, and then I can just get things sorted out. And plus, even the Flying Scotsman, I've now got to go backwards a bit because the parts had been glued together. I think it was you, P40, who mentioned it, or somebody about soldering.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, but obviously that means I've got to redo issue 1. So what I want to try and do is, like, I've got issue 7 to film, so I'll do issue 7, and then I'll redo issue 1, and then issue 8 I'll do 8, and then redo 2. Not all of them need, like this bit, for example. This has been glued and then screwed together. So I'm not going to bother picking that apart. In fact, I might just run a bit of solder there, but this bit there at the front, because it's been screwed in as well, that in fact that doesn't even need screwing in really, because that doesn't need gluing, because it's got little
It's all
tabs. So
kind of clamped together.
yeah, because it's clamped, so that won't need redoing. So there's only about
I
2
think-
issues that need resoldering.
Last week
But-
you were showing us that the cab had fallen apart.
Yeah, that's well and truly fallen apart. There was absolutely no effort at all.
Super glue's never going to do the trick for that.
Yeah, and I think also I used the cheaper super glue because the cheaper super glue is more runny and it runs into parts easier. But that cheaper super glue, it's not as strong. So you want the consistency of the cheap glue with the strength of the Gorilla Glue.
Well, Gorilla Glue
yeah.
does come in a runnier formula as well. They have the
Right.
gel and they have a runnier one.
Right. However, I've already got the solder iron. I've already got the solder. All I had to do was buy this, which is a liquid flux, which I suppose I probably could have used solid flux and then just melt it and let it run in. But that's a lot easier to use.
Either way.
Yeah.
But
So,
that's the best way to put that thing together.
yeah. So that's what I'm going to attempt. So this is going to free me up a little bit more time to do the train. Plus, I'm trying to help Adrian get his channel off the ground as well. So maybe it wasn't a bad thing that my printer screwed up. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
How old is the filament you're trying to use?
It's new filament.
Oh, right, okay.
It
Is it
actually coincidentally went just as I changed the filament. The old roll ran out, and I put a new one in, and that's where it started to go.
Try to do it with a different type of filament.
Yeah. I wonder also if it was the PETG, because with the PETG, I've been running at a higher temperature, and I actually did run some that was so high a temperature that the printer shut itself off because of the high temperature. So I wonder if maybe that's mucked it up. It might be I need a new motherboard in it. But I've had that printer a year now, and it's been so used. Maybe it has come to the end of its natural life. So, but I mean, I've got my money's worth out of it. If I can fix it, brilliant. If I can't, it's just a bit inconvenient. It's like when your car blows up, you've got no car until you've got another one. If you know your car is on the way out, like you've done, you can buy a new car before you get rid of your old car, and then you're still using it. So, right, who shall we talk to? P40F20. Let's talk about your build, shall we?
Okay.
How are you finding it? What's your favorite? I'm going to ask you all the typical questions. What's your favorite issue? What's your least favorite issue?
I think that the part I really liked the best was working on the engine because it was so detailed. It's just that after watching your build, it's like I could see where no, you don't want to assemble this now. Like that long black pipe that you broke.
Hey,
I haven't
I can't hear room on this
even
side.
put that on yet.
Yeah.
Just leaving stuff off like
Hey.
that. The
I'm gonna stop you there
unfortunate
for a
thing
sec,
is
'cause
because
Hang on
Sure.
a sec, Chris. Right, go on, Chris.
No.
Yeah.
I
Go
couldn't hear
ahead.
him on my side either. I just don't know if it sounds.
Sorry, Chris. Say that again.
I couldn't hear him my side.
You couldn't hear him.
No.
Okay. Is that
can you hear
because
me now?
did you hear him then, Chris?
Say it again.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear him that much. No.
No.
I
Okay.
can hear him okay. Is your volume up, Chris?
Yeah, it's blasting.
But you can hear me and Horlicks, can you?
I can hear everyone. That's all right. Yeah, I can hear. I can't hear Dave off P14.
Right. Let me just. Right. So I've just muted him for a second, and then I'm gonna unmute. Oh, hang on. Oh no!
You did what I did. You've muted
I've
someone.
muted him, and I don't know how to unmute him. Oh no!
I think P40 has to unmute himself.
Oh, okay then. Can you unmute yourself, P40?
There, I think I did it.
Ah, there you go. You've done it.
Yeah.
Can you hear him now,
Okay.
Chris?
Can you hear me now, Chris?
No, I can't.
Ah, okay.
Oh dear. Can everybody else hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Everybody else
Yeah,
can.
no worries.
Right, Chris,
So you
what,
guys,
what I'm going to have to do, Chris, is just carry on as we were,
I think,
because everyone else can
Do the-
hear him. We're going to keep the show flowing then.
Well, at any rate,
yeah.
since I live in the United States, I can't even subscribe to this bus. I'm getting it through a news agent in England,
Right.
and I'm actually paying about 3 times the cost that you guys are.
Oh.
And I'm missing issues 22 and 34, so I won't even be able to put my cabin down until I get those. I'm still waiting. Of course, like a lot of people, I guess.
Okay, bear with me. I'm actually looking on the website now, because obviously I can help you with that, because I've done this with other people where I bought certain magazines, and yeah, if you ever want anything,
Issues 22 and I think it's 34, the one with the fuel tank and the braces underneath. Those I need desperately.
right, 22 is out of stock. And what was the other issue?
I think it's 34.
34.
It's the one with the fuel tank and the braces that, underneath.
Right. Okay. Let me make a phone call tomorrow. I'll write that down. 22 and 34. 22 and 34. Because I have the subscription copies that are sitting in a box waiting for me to do. So I've got those 2 issues, but I obviously I'll need them replaced. So what I'll do is I'll make a call to Hachette, double check they are getting the stock back in at some point.
I would hope so, because
yeah,
I know a lot of other people are looking for those 2 issues too.
Yeah, but also, do you would it be useful for you to subscribe and have them sent to an English address, say for example my address, and that person then just changes the label, sticks some postage stamps on, and then sends it to you?
Well, that would be great, because I imagine it'd be cheaper that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The postage is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
yeah. I think depending on the type of postage you want, I think the last thing I sent to America was about £10, which is just over the cost of 1 issue. And obviously with
I'm getting charged about £24 for each issue for postage.
Oh my God.
that does sound a lot, but it depends what
Yeah.
kind of postage you're getting. Listen, right, I'll work on this. I have a really, really good relationship with my post office. So what I might do is I might grab 4 big issues, take them down to the post office and just say, look, they're not in an envelope, but just weigh them and give me the cost of the options, and then I'll send you a message. And obviously I'm talking to P40F20, but this goes for anybody. If anybody wants to, basically we can subscribe, because we get free postage to the UK, so no one will have to pay 2 lots of postage, because they're sent to us free of charge. But if anybody has trouble getting issues and wants them sent to me, and then I will just, so obviously I'll charge you for the issues, and then I'll charge you for the postage. But
I'd appreciate that very much. The last issue that I bought was issue 69.
right, you got 69. So it's saying on the website that you can subscribe from issue 67. So what we can do is we can wait a couple of weeks until 69. You can only subscribe from an odd issue. At the moment, all that's available is 53, 55, 57, 59, 61, 63, 65, 67. So you can either subscribe from a 69 or get 68 and then, get 70 and then subscribe from 71. Adrian's just given us a link for my UK mailbox. There's a lot of companies like this. I've been looking at a US version. I don't know what they will cost, but by all means, have a look at that website that Adrian's just given. But yeah, if anybody wants me to subscribe to any part work, I can have it sent to me, and then you pay that, and then you pay the postage to be sent on to you. I'm quite happy to do it. It's not going to cost me anything because obviously you're paying for
I
it.
got to pay the postage, right? And then pay for the issue. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So
that'd be great if you could do that. I'd love it. Thank you very much, Penny.
No problem.
Another thing that I wanted to bring up that I don't know if anybody else knows about, there's an outfit in the UK called modelmods.com, and they make like modified parts for the Eagle Moss DeLorean, and they made some posters for the bus. They also have made these really spectacular display cases that so your bus would be entirely covered, and you can get it in several different modifications. And again, it's a thing where they will sell in the UK, they will sell to Europe, they will not sell it to the US.
Really? Well, look, I mean, anything you want. I mean, I've done this for Love Minis before, where I've bought stuff and then sent it on because, you've got stuff in the US that we can't get here. I mean, I don't generally have a problem with that because my dad lives in the US.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah. I've had loads of stuff sent to him, and then he's just passed it on to me. The only thing I'll say, though, is keep the packages small, because if they go over a certain value, then because what I do with my dad, if I buy anything expensive, I get him to open the package, and then it becomes secondhand, and then he sends it to me. Yeah. You open the packages, it's then a second-hand gift, and that devalues it. So he doesn't use the parts. He just gets the box or gets the packaging. See, with
there's always some kind of dodge.
Oh yeah, you've got to know how to do it. The first time I did it, my dad is so honest. The first time he says, "No, I'm not." No, he goes, "That's breaking the law." I said, "No, it's not." I said, "It's just, if you say something is a gift." Then, because when I was a kid, he used to send me stuff and he used to put gift, and we never paid US customs. Banggood do it. You can order like £100 worth of stuff. If you look at the label, they put a value of like $2 on it, and that's to keep the custom fees down. So a lot of people will do it for you. It's just, I mean, they do. Obviously, everything that goes through the postal system gets X-rayed. If it looks like a gun or a bomb or drugs, then obviously they will open it. But if you've got what looks like an electrical, and they know, these customs peoples, they've been doing this for so long, they know what the shape of something, they look at it. And if it's a circuit board, it will come up with a certain shape and a certain color. And they know. They're not looking, is it a circuit board? Is it a book? Is it a magazine? All they're really looking for is it a prohibited item? Is it a packet of cigarettes? Is it a bomb? Is it drugs? That's what they're looking for. So yeah, it's only about like one in 50 or something like that that's actually routinely opened. So what's that, Mark? If you don't stop playing myself, you'll go blind. To which I responded, I'm over here, Dad. Good one. Yeah. So yeah, so we've got Chris over there, not so much. Adrian, you're very quiet today.
Sorry, Penny.
No, it's okay.
I was just going to say.
One of the hard. Sorry, go on, Horlicks.
No, I was just going to say. I thought you were going to eat a cake for me on my behalf.
I did. I actually ate it this afternoon, and yeah, it was. We were discussing this in the chat. I think it was a Mr. Kipling's cake because it was exceedingly good. But yes, you would have liked it. It had fresh cream, chocolate, and icing on it. It's so nice.
Sorry, Chris, I already started it.
What?
Oh, Adrian's got a cake. Oh, brilliant.
Oh.
So, Horlicks, has it been a good... What's that?
So they grab
Okay.
So, has it been a satisfactory birthday then, Horlicks?
Yeah, it's been a right surprise. I think I could blow the lights out.
Has anybody sang happy birthday to you yet?
Oh no, there's no need for that. There's absolutely no need for that.
Oh yes, there is.
So what if I get my guitar out?
Okay, are you ready then, guys? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Birthday, dear Horlicks. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we will be on the X Factor next year, will we? Any of us?
No. No, thank you very much. It's been a nice surprise. I've seen all these people there. We haven't heard from Jason yet either. We've got Jason, Adrian, everyone. We need to call some more people.
I like what Mark's put. Happy birthday to you, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
So, Jason, what have you been up to?
I don't know if you can hear me because I'm on my laptop mic this week. I'm with my girlfriend.
I can hear you perfect, Fleetwood.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, after that, I'm having a rest. After all the mammoth Lego builds I got home, I've got a lot more coming up. I've got a Mercedes G500. I've got the Ford Mustang. I've got the Aston Martin DB5.
Oh, I'm getting that too.
And I have got the Eiffel Tower coming.
Eiffel Tower.
Ooh.
And I've got the Statue of Liberty coming. And I've got an unusual one, which is a Lego pop-up book. It's a book.
Oh, yes.
Penny had one of them.
Like this, by any chance? Is it anything like that?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it's slightly. It's a bit different.
Yeah. This one I got. I bought the mini off the Lego site, and it's fallen to pieces. And it was free with like any purchase over £75.
Right.
So I'm always a sucker for freebies. So I'm like, yeah, I'll have that. So, but it's fun. This is a little Hans Christian Andersen book.
Yeah. This one looks like a old-fashioned leather-bound book, but when you open it up, you've got Little Red Riding Hood's cottage with Red Riding Hood, the grandma as the wolf. Then you can change the scenery and put Jack in the beanstalk. And when you open the book, the beanstalk opens up and he sits on a little pedestal.
So clever, these Legos builds now, aren't they? So clever.
Oh, do you know what? They've come on so much since I was a kid.
We just had
they were
bricks.
really basic compared to now, weren't they?
Yeah, we just.
Well, I really like the look of that roller coaster, but it's like quite a lot of money. But I haven't seen like a genuine, not genuine one, if you know what I mean, anywhere.
Oh,
If
the
you look
leopard
on
one.
AliExpress, Horlicks, you can pick them up for about 80 to 90 quid plus
Yeah.
postage.
That's not bad, is it?
I would love one, but I wouldn't know where to put it in my, because I haven't got that much space. I'm running out of space now, considering I've got the Beetle, the Mini, the camper, the monkey bike. You know, it's.
There isn't any one. I want the train. I would quite like to do the train. I'd like to do the cars, the Porsche or the
Bugatti.
The Bugatti. I'd really like one of them, just because of the.
You've always wanted that, haven't you, Horlicks?
Wanted that one because the build is. It'll take me about a month, I think. The manual's like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really good value for the money, to be honest. But yeah, I've got my eyes on that. I have seen a Lepin version. I think it was like 60, 70 pound, but I never got round to picking that up. And
no, the Mercedes that I'll be doing, the G500, that will have power functions on it as well. So that's similar to the Land Rover I done. So that'll be remote control as well.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, I love Technics, but that's my thing, Technics, more than the actual normal sets. But obviously some of the sets I want, but yeah, I just love Technics. It's a newfound thing, really, because I never really had it as a kid. But after building a few, it's just like, I can see how it gets really addictive.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that guy, I mean, if you've heard about him, I think we discussed this before, but he literally bought a house just to store his Lego in.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
He's got two houses. One is full, like Penny's got all her rack in there. He's racked out this house, and it's got every set ever on the market.
Wow.
There's a guy.
See, I think Chris Campling's got the right idea. For me, it's all about the build. I'm not so bothered once I've made it.
Yeah.
And Chris, he puts his on eBay, and I think that's a good way to go, because then the money you make on eBay, you can then put that towards the next kit.
Yeah. There's a guy in Malaysia who's on the Lego forum. He does obviously all the Lepin, Lego, Zingbao, and a few others. And he's actually bought an apartment downstairs, and he's had this whole apartment ripped out, and it's now his whole complete Lego flat in every room. In the front room is what, 40 by 50 front room. It's absolutely massive. That is the biggest Lego cityscape I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what I mean? So
amazing.
Crazy what you could do, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to plan to display yours then, Jason? Are you going to have shelves or?
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, I'll put probably above my desk. I've got a USB ports and hubs to power all the lights, because I bought lights in mine. So
yeah,
brilliant.
Wow.
What's that? Steve Hyson picked up the Lego Routemaster for 12 quid on Facebook. That is amazing.
That is amazing.
I think it's about £130 full price.
Oh.
I was a bit naughty buying mine because
budget. That's my budget. That £12.
Yeah. I mean, I did the Wilco blocks, and someone had said, "Oh, I'm not going to do the proper Lego one. It's too expensive." I'm like, "Yeah, I've got to get it." So I was a bit naughty, but I don't regret doing it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. It sits on my shelf, and I love it. Not quite as impressive as the Hachette build, but a lot cheaper.
Your set you were supposed to be getting through, Penny.
Do you know what? I've given up on that. I think that was a bit of a con, but I think £36 for Millennium Falcon Lego set this big was probably too. And they do say if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. So
I know a lot of people knock the Chinese Lego about saying it's a copy of Lego. It's fair enough. But at the end of the day, the quality is just as good sometimes as Lego.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, my one of mine, the beat. Actually, you're doing it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're doing the beetle, aren't you?
This is a good. Yeah.
This is my beetle, and I absolutely love it. And the only real difference is they've squished the instruction manual down a little bit.
Yeah.
The blocks don't have Lego. They've got little punch marks. Let's see if I can get this off. There we go. They haven't got Lego written on them, and you usually get one that's got like a little hole in it. But if you can get around that, I think it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely identical to Lego, but it's just not quite. They don't go together quite so well. Lego is definitely better, but Lego tends to be 3 times the cost.
Yeah.
So,
Well, maybe it'll force Lego to reduce their prices.
Well,
At the moment, Lego.
The Lego logo. I mean, it's like buying a right. It's a really bad example, but you buy a biro from the shop, a Bic, or like an actual big brand pen. It's like them suing every other pen company because they've made a pen. It's a similar concept, but I don't know. I think it's a bit OTT, to be honest.
I mean, Lego now are going completely crazy at the moment. They're after all the Chinese companies, left, right, and centre. I mean, the latest to come under fire is Jingbao. They're suing them for putting minifigures in their kits. They're saying it's intellectual rights, but Jingbao make their own minifigures. There's only going to be one sort of design that's going to fit any type of Lego. So, you know.
Yeah. I think with the more basic kits, it's harder because you can't copyright that because that's just a shape.
Yeah. But Lego don't own any rights to any bricks now anyway now.
Do they
They
not?
lost the rights.
Okay. But yeah, like this is authentic Lego, this mini.
Looks awesome.
And if you are after Lego, then yeah, by all means go with that. If you are after a kit of bricks that you put together to make something, then that is more than adequate. And you know, if I hold the two together, obviously I'm not giving you a really microscopic look, but what's apart from the actual model, what's the difference between the two?
Yeah.
I got as much fun out of both of them.
Yeah.
So
I see you got the same problem as me, Penny. I see you got the same problem as me on your Beetle. You're missing the pipe that goes along the front bonnet.
Yeah, it come out. I must have knocked it.
Yeah. But I found a website called Bricklink.
Oh, they
sell
the individual bricks.
Yeah. And I bought all the replacement bits because when you watch my Beetle video, towards the end, I was running out of bits and pieces like for the roof rack and another couple of bits and pieces. So I went on Bricklink and I bought the replacement bricks. I was looking on eBay and it would have cost me about 15 quid to replace the bricks. But I looked on Bricklink and it cost me £2.30.
I'll tell you what, on the Lego site, they have the instruction books for every single Lego kit they've done. And then obviously the instructions tell you how many of each brick you want.
Yeah.
So if you can buy the individual bricks, you can actually do the out of stock kit, the retired kits. The only thing you can't get is the stickers. So if you've got any old Lego kits you want to buy, download the instructions and then just buy the individual bricks. It'll be a lot of money to buy them, but
it depends how pricey the item was and how old it is. If it's quite recently, you can always log in and say you're missing this part.
Yes, yeah. Because also, if you go on eBay and you buy an old kit, it's inevitable if they break. You know where they'll separate all the bricks for you and then put it in a bag. It's inevitable that you'll be missing a few parts. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Probably most jigsaw puzzles you buy from a charity shop will have a piece missing.
Yeah, that's why I like to buy a new one because there's nothing frustrating. You get to the end and you're missing a piece. So if I buy a puzzle, I like to get one sealed.
Yeah. What was it? There was a comedian on telly who was saying about what he likes to do is read a book and then rip out a few pages, sort of about 10 pages from the end, rip out 2 or 3 pages, and then gives that book to a charity shop, knowing that someone's going to be, oh, this is brilliant. Oh, what's happened? The pages are missing. It's kind of the thing I would do, actually. There was another comedian, and I thought this was quite funny. He says what he likes to do is he starts a book halfway through, reads it to the end, then goes to the beginning and starts reading from the beginning, and then so that he can sit there on the tube or something reading it. As soon as he gets to halfway, he can go, "That was a brilliant book. That was." That's a good point. Mark Hunter has said about or Mark Knight. Is he? I caught the reply, but I didn't catch the original comment. Home printer quality is so good now. You can actually get Lego bricks on Thingiverse now, so you can actually print your own Lego. How good the quality will be, I don't know. It depends on your printer, I suppose. So if that could be an option for anybody.
Right. I've got a nip off, Penny. Sorry.
Yeah,
I've
not a
got
problem.
phone call,
I'm thinking about winding the show down now anyway, because it's getting to 10:10.
See you later, Jason.
Oh yes.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. See you later.
Yeah, no worries. Well, you take care and have a good birthday tomorrow, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope
Tomorrow's
you
going to
get
be a letdown after today.
Hello.
Sorry, say that again.
I said tomorrow's going to be a letdown for Horlicks after today.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Overworked.
Yeah, because you've got presents already, haven't you? If you got your car and that and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and stuff for the car, I'm sure you'll get a few surprises. Do you do cream cake at work day?
Yeah, I've got to bring cake in. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I love that tradition. Anyone from outside of Britain doesn't seem to get it. I got a guy at work, and he says, Why do you Brits bring cakes in on your birthday? Why is it because it's your birthday you have to bring the cakes in?" I go, "I don't know, but I like it."
Well, you're sure to get one.
I think
Yeah.
obviously
Yes.
if everyone else
Yeah.
cake in, there'd be too much, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know, but you would have thought. Well, yeah, but you would have thought everybody should bring a bit of a spread in. But no,
Yeah.
the way we do it, you have to bring cakes for everybody.
I am taking some in, but my colleague Lorraine, she said, "Oh no, bring some in Friday." So I think we've got a cake maker at work who works with us, and I think that she must be bringing one in because she was trying to put me off. And I said, "Oh no, I've got to bring something in." But she does a lovely coffee cake.
All right.
So
Isn't it great when people try to put you off things and it's like, yeah, you're so obviously planning something.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I think I'll have a night out. No. Have a night in. I'll come round. We'll have a few quiet drinks. You're not planning anything, are you? Yeah.
But no, I have been spoiled this year, and with all the gifts off the Amazon wish list as well. It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, to be honest with you, I think you deserve it. You've had so much crap with your car the last few months, haven't you? I think you deserve a bit of a break.
Well, yeah, it's back in on Monday.
No, I'm talking about your old car.
Yeah, I'm talking about the new one.
Oh, God.
I said to you,
Maybe cars don't like you.
No, bless him. Carl's actually paid for most of the work. I bought the car and it's got a clutch problem, so it's okay, but it's going to need doing. So it's in Monday for a lot of work to be done. Bless him, the mechanics give me a really good deal on it because he didn't realise. But Carl's covered the rest of the costs. So yeah, it's been on Monday.
Have you had a phone call from the guy who bought your car saying, "Oh, I broke the car because it doesn't work. Can I bring it back?"
No. I was expecting it. I know it still feels like mine, but even though it's not.
I just love it when people wreck stuff and they're like, "Can I bring it back? It don't work." No,
Yeah.
you wreck it. Oh, people try it though, don't they?
Yeah, that's it's
Oh,
but no, I do love my new car. It's amazing.
We had a guy come in the other. Actually, no, it's not quite the same. But we had a guy come in the office the other day, and he says, "We get this sort of thing a lot, where they go, well, I asked for a day ticket and I paid for a day ticket, but the driver only gave me a single." So the girl in customer services, she said, "Well, let's have a look at the ticket." It was dated like 2.5 weeks ago, and we're like, "Yeah, no, that's not going to happen." Why didn't you come? So then the next stage is, but the driver was rude and offensive. Yeah, who was? Oh, we take that very seriously. Who was the driver? And when we found out who the driver was, we were like, no, that didn't happen.
We've
But
got our
we
car
get
for service and MOT very shortly, and we're dreading it. We're
Yeah, that's
absolutely
awful,
dreading
isn't
it.
it? I when I lived in Norfolk, my landlord was an MOT tester, and yeah, he wasn't dishonest, but he would just push the boundaries a little bit. Things like, for example, because you can fail your MOT on a bulb being out, can't you?
Yeah.
And so what he'd do, for example, if I've got a couple of bulbs out and that's the only thing it'd fail on, he'd pass the car and then he'd put some bulbs in and he'll go, "Oh, you owe me £2." But even he would look over my car the day before the MOT and he would tell me what I need doing. And I would still worry, and he would do the MOT and I would still worry that the car isn't going to pass. Although he did, I think they've changed the rules now. He did. I had a worn seatbelt, and he says, "Oh, borrow our baby seat." And I said, "Well, how's that going to help?" He says, "Well, what we'll do is we'll install the baby seat on the rear seatbelt that's worn, and then we can't test the seatbelt because they can't remove the baby seat, because if they didn't put it back properly, and then you put a baby in the seat and it's not attached properly and you have an accident and the baby dies as a result, it's the fault of the MOT. So they basically, you cover things up, but apparently they've become a bit attuned to that now.
Yeah, all the rules have changed now.
Yeah.
If it fails on something, it's got to be fixed.
Yeah.
It can get a serious advisory.
There's things that you can't. I had one guy. He tried pulling. I had a 1984 VT700 US import motorbike. Absolutely loved that bike, and I took it into the MOT, and he failed it. And one of the things that he failed it on was it's a shaft-driven bike as opposed to a chain-driven bike.
Yeah.
Now, he said that the shaft was knackered inside. And I thought, well, that's a lie because you can't take the shaft apart. And I actually took it home and I took the shaft apart. And given that it was 30 odd years old, it was in absolute slight rusting on or slight discoloration. And but it was absolutely perfect. But the guy said to me, and this is where I knew that he'd deliberately failed it on the MOT. He says the best thing you can do is scrap that bike and get another one. He says, "Do you want me to make an offer on it?" And that was the point. Yeah. And I'm like, hang on, mate. This is a classic bike. You tell me why I'm going to scrap it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this bike is like 10. It's what 30, it now be 35 years old. 35, 30, something like that. But yeah, it was. But I took it to another MOT, and the three main things it failed on, he actually passed on two of them. And the one thing that it failed on was the headlights were wrong. And he just adjusted two screws on the headlight. And he says, there you go, it's perfect now. So, yeah, Stuart Sullivan says, do you think you were shafted? Yeah, I was. I actually took that shaft apart. And it was, well, the thing is, it's a sealed unit. And it hadn't been taken apart since the bike was made. So air and stuff can't get in it. And there were no signs of a leak. Because obviously, when anything that contains oil leaks, you see the leak marks, you see the oil marks, don't you?
Yeah.
And it was, the only thing that was wrong with that, well, I actually blew the big end on it because I kind of forgot to put oil in it. And it just kind of bang.
Oh dear.
But I got a new engine for it. I got a 750 engine, and it was corroded to crap. And I took all that corrosion off, and I went over it with gradually finer sandpaper to the point I put Autosol, and it was like mirror. And it was beautiful. I put so much work into it, and I really did get the benefit out of it. It was absolutely amazing bike. I loved it. I can. Oh, and then I went on I went to see a motorbike instructor, and I said I'd just like a little top up lesson. And you got to remember, this bike is a cruiser. It's a V twin, and it's got the exhaust pipes come down one side. And this guy, he operated out of a go-kart track, so he'd have you going around the go-kart track. And I was really struggling around this go-kart. I wasn't great at cornering anyway, but I was struggling because the corners were so tight. And he says, let me have a go. And he bombed it around this track. Well, because the exhaust pipes came down the right-hand side and they were low, every time he did a right turn, sparks just come off the ground where the exhaust pipes hit. And I'm like, what are you doing to my bike? So, yeah, that was scary moments. And then he goes, same thing everyone always says, well, exhaust pipes are a bit loud. No, actually, they're meant to be like that. That's how cruisers are. They make the exhaust pipes loud. But it's one of those bikes where the MOT testers there's a regulation on the noise, but there's no actual measurement, so they have to play it by ear. If they think the exhaust is too loud, it's purely the opinion of the MOT tester, and it's a loud exhaust, but it is the original manufacturing spec, so they kind of struggle to fail it. So they normally just put it on the advisories, exhaust a little bit loud. So it is. I loved that bike. It wasn't as popular as a Harley, but a little interesting fact for you. US, right, 750cc bikes. American, like Japanese bikes, especially in America, are 700. Does anybody know why?
No.
Right. Harley Davidson were threatened by Hondas, Yamahas, all the Japanese bikes coming into America. So what they did was that they put a heavy tax on any bike over 700cc that was being imported into America. So the way to get around that is they made the bike 700. So all the Hondas and that are generally 750, the American versions are 700 to avoid the tax. So and all they are, there's the exact same engine, but they put a little sleeve inside the engine, inside the board, so that it can only generate like 699cc rather than 749. Yeah. So Yeah, I did have one guy try to sell me a 750 US import, and I just went bollocks. And he went, "Yeah, it is. It's a US import." I said, "It's not a US import because it's 750." I said, "Have you got the import papers?" He went, "No, I've lost them." I said, "Well, I don't know a massive amount about bikes, but if it's a 750, it is not a US import." Because they're just too expensive. It's apparently it's cheaper to get 1000cc Harley than it is to get 750 Honda. So, but I like my Harleys, and Honda's my bike. I've always ridden, apart from the exception of a few bikes, I've always ridden Hondas. My very first proper bike was a Honda CB125 Super Dream, and I absolutely loved that bike.
I had a 250 Super Dream.
My first bike was it was just a Honda CBF 125, a modern one.
Yeah, they are absolutely superb learner bikes.
And
Absolutely
then
brilliant.
Honda Hornet.
Yeah.
But I sold that, and I regret it now because I haven't been on a bike now for 3 years.
Yeah, I've not been on one for a couple of years, but I do want to get another bike, but I'm not going to bother with a car anymore, not where I live. But also it's a bit of a shame that we've got the bridge, the Severn Bridge that goes over to Bristol. It used to be a toll, and they've just got rid of the toll, but it used to be £6.90 each way, or £6.90 one way for a car, but motorbikes were free. So, and I've been over that Severn Bridge on a motorbike in a heavy wind, and thankfully it's a three lane road, and I rode down the middle lane, so very slowly. So Mark Knight hasn't been on a bike for years. He can't seem to get the stabilizers now. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had some great accidents on a bike. I've flown in all sorts of directions on bikes, and I'm just like, right, where's my bike? I've got to get back on it. So when I was young, my trip to work, there was an oil patch on a corner of the road, and I actually slipped on the same oil patch 3 days running. As you come around the corner, you catch the oil, and you just, and I actually caught it 3 days running. I can't believe I did that. So, I've also slammed the front brake only on while riding on wet grass, and just sort of come away. Yeah, that was a bit stupid. So, but I was young and I was stupid, and I've done all sorts of weird things. So yeah, Mark Knight said, "Wow, talk about a Homer Simpson moment." Yeah, that's me. Yeah, but haven't we all done that?
Yeah.
Or is it just me?
So, Alex,
Yeah.
have we done issue 52 yet?
No, I've only done 51. I've got the other 3 here. I've not even built them yet.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm doing 54 and 55 together, I am. Because the parts, innit? So, Peg.
Yes, Chris.
When are you going to do your electrics testing?
Good point. I was going to do it this week. Since next week is going to be the same as this week,
yeah.
Shall we just briefly next week? Should we just briefly go over the instructions and then go straight into it, like I did with the second set of seats today, and then that will give us a bit of time to do some. Because I'm a little bit worried. A lot of people on Facebook are reporting problems either with the circuit boards and also with the connections for the is it the battery box?
The battery box.
So.
I think it was really a bad idea that they had us just put that switch on and you got that battery box banging around.
Yeah. But I've actually broken the wire on my battery box. Now I put it down to where it was hanging, and I thought maybe I caught it on something. But all it's going to take theoretically is just a little touch of solder, and it'll be back on.
Yeah, it should do it.
But saying that, Chris, last month I did Chris's speaker. He snapped the speaker wire. So I replaced that wire, and that's broken. So maybe it's my soldering isn't very good. I don't know. But I'll have another look at that when I go down and see him in September. But obviously, I don't think a solder joint is ever going to be as good as the original piece of wire.
This is man.
Could be flimsy, could it?
Just a man, and I've had to paint the edges because obviously I was out red on the edge.
Yeah.
So I've had to paint the edge. And then I just taped the battery box to.
Yeah, because I've done the 52 and I did like mod as well, which you've done for me. And
yeah. So I'm see one thing I'm thinking. I would what I originally wanted to do was resolder that wire on once we attach that battery box. But looking at the connections, I think it's going to be a while before we do actually fit it because we've got so many connections to go.
Yeah.
You're going to back first, isn't it?
Actually, I might be. Do you think we can get that battery box off and take it?
You think you can? Well, I don't think you can get it back on again, can you?
I don't know. I can't remember how it went on. I can't remember if the wire goes in underneath something, but that's the
It
problem.
goes to the switch.
Unless. Oh, of course it does.
Yeah.
So I wonder maybe if we cut the wire and put a connector on.
Yeah, you could do the wire.
Because I've got some connectors. Some very kind person, Jason, bought me some. So I'll have a play with those possibly over the weekend with the time I'm not going to be spending trying to swear at the printer. So, do you know what? The swear word, I really swear words come out of my mouth at the weekend were awful, and it was so frustrating. I was so wound up with it.
I'm like on a game, I'm on the PS4.
Just nothing was working, and then. I don't know. I've got things I like to try, but no, I'm trying to save up for this. The little Ender one, the 200 by 200 size one. It's only 175 quid now, next day delivery. So I'm going to get one of those, and then I'll just put so much money aside each week, and I'll just get a new printer. But no, I'm not. No, I mean the amount of use I've had out of that printer and the age of it, I think it's not. It's all right. You know, but it's like our buses at work. People moan about our buses, but they've done 900,000 miles on them. I don't think that's too bad for the vehicle, is it? If they break down now beyond repair, you go, well, I got nearly 1 million miles out of it. That's not too bad.
Yeah. Bringing new buses on, isn't it? Your company, isn't it?
Pardon?
Your company's bringing new buses on, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got 10 electric buses coming.
Yeah,
apparently we're building all the infrastructure. We're going to have charging points at terminuses and all sorts. So what's quite funny actually is someone started a rumor at work that they're going to have a separate rotor just for the electric buses, and I'm sure it's a wind up. So all these drivers have been going to the inspector and going, I want to get on this electric rotor. And of course, then the inspector's joining and he's gone, well, he goes, it's a really, really big waiting list for this electric rotor. But I'm sure if you really improve your standard as a driver, then I'm pretty sure we can bump you up the queue. And then of course then that's fueling the rumours, and they're like, yeah, there's going to be electric rotor, yeah, because Andy's going to put me on it. And yeah, this inspector is just laughing because he's just winding people up with it. So,
You have to be trained on them, man.
pardon?
You have to get new training for the electric buses.
Yeah, we'll have 5 minutes training. We call it types training. Basically, if what will probably happen, we'll have 10 people to a bus. One person will drive it around the block, and then that's the training for everybody.
Or to shoot for the controls and stuff like.
Yeah, it's main. We had one. It was really funny. We had a hybrid demonstrator, and it's a Mercedes-Benz Citaro, which we used Citaros in Aylesbury, and we also used them at Bristol Airport. Well, you got all these drivers. They can't figure out how to. They couldn't even open the doors. And I see one, he's trying to climb in the emergency exit. I say, what are you doing? He says, we can't get the doors open. I said, give us a sec. And they don't have an actual button. They have a flat little circle on the front, just next to the windscreen wiper. And it's the same sort of pad that you have on the back of your mobile phone. If you've got a fingerprint detector, you know, when you just touch it. It's exactly the same as that. And I just put my thumb on it and the doors went, shh. And they went, how'd you do that? I said, give us first drive in the bus and I'll tell you. And they're like, yeah, all right then. So I showed them this button. And, but yeah, it was because I've used those buses before. The only thing I had trouble with, which is a new feature for me, the door, normally they have a switch like a handle, and you put and the door opens, but this particular one, it automatically locks, and you have a button on the dashboard to unlock it and it'll just open. But yeah, it was so funny because people couldn't even. Well, the thing is, if you put an open door button on the side of the bus, then anyone can just see it. Press this to open the door, and they can jump in. Because most buses don't have keys now. You know, they're designed so that any driver can, so anyone can start a bus up and off they go. And they did have a system of a secret button. You'd have the starter button, but you'd have a little button underneath the dashboard, and you'd have to press that one in. But people are cottoned on to that one as well. So, yeah, they have to hide the button up. So the new electric buses will probably take 3 AA batteries. The rest is just a prayer. Yeah. The thing is, everybody knows, right? I mean, these buses are advertised as 200 miles on a single charge. Well, everybody knows that a battery, once you've been using it every day for about 6 months, it loses its maximum charge, doesn't it? Yeah. So within 10 years, these buses are probably, I mean, it's like mobile phones, you know, they lose their charge. Give it 10 years, these buses will have a range of about 70 miles before they die.
Yeah, so, that's probably about right.
Yeah. So, and I batteries are really, really expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
someone told me that these Tesla cars, the batteries on those are so expensive that you buy an insurance policy for the car, but that doesn't cover the battery, only covers the car. So
80,000 quid, I had.
How many?
80,000 quid for a car.
Yeah. Of which probably 50 grand of that is the battery.
Yeah.
It's not one battery, is it? It's about 20 batteries bolted together.
Yeah.
So you've basically got a battery about this big that's producing 1 volt. So they stick 24 of them together. But they worry me because everything's running off the battery. And then, of course, the latest thing now, everybody wants phone chargers on the bus. And they've all got these high power. And they get on in the morning and they deliberately get on the bus with like 5% battery on the phone and they charge it on the bus. Well, you got an electric bus and you get 40 passengers get on with 5% on their battery on their phone, and they all plug it in, your bus ain't going to do 200 miles anymore, is it?
No. No, that's it.
Well, there's just
So, you know,
bringing kettles on and all sorts, making a couple of on the road.
See what it's like in the bus like.
see, some advances in bus technology is great. I mean, when I first started driving buses, a lot of the entrances used to have like a barrier in the middle, and then the old ladies couldn't get up the steps because you had this barrier, and then you had the buggies.
I remember them when I was a kid.
Yeah. So when they introduced low floor buses that come down for wheelchairs, fantastic. But come on, look, charging your phone and using your laptop on the bus. You know, I don't know. Am I alone on that one?
I agree with you.
Like they do now in every company now, don't they?
Yeah,
No,
I get it. I get it on the train. I get it on the aeroplane. You know, you're doing your transatlantic 7-hour flight to America. Get your laptop out and do your business work. Yeah. And a train, you're probably going to be on the train 3-4 hours. But, come on, 20-minute bus journey to work.
It's crazy.
You know, can I just say that my views and opinions don't necessarily reflect the opinions of the company I work for.
Everyone's got opinions on the facts, don't they? So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like a lot of stuff that we do it because everybody. Can I just say that my views and opinions don't necessarily reflect. Oh, we've got feedback off someone. Is that you, Adrian? But yeah, no, new technologies come out, and you have to keep up with it. It's like this paying with your credit card now on the bus.
Contactless, yeah. Our company does that now.
I don't agree with that because you know you get some pensioner get on with their dog 75 pence and they want to pay with a debit card or a credit card. Oh, come on, you know.
Our company.
Can I pay? You get people come on with a card, and I mean we are losing business because, especially on our Cardiff run, it's run by a different company, and this other company accepts contactless payments, and we don't. Yeah. So all the people with contactless cards, they're actually letting our buses go, and they're giving their money to the other company. So,
you could use your phones as well.
Yeah, and we've got Wi-Fi on the buses as well.
Yeah.
And do we? I mean, it's nice for the drivers because when we get to terminus, we can play with our phones. But
so, how does Wi-Fi work on a bus? Is it just from a phone network?
I don't know. I think there's this big old massive network in the sky that people can have their own log on for.
But I have got one. I used Wi-Fi on the bus before, and we've got on our company. It's called First Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And then you've got to connect to that via the internet, then see. But it only gives us so many time. You only can use it for so much time.
Yeah, but how does like my network at home? It's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, same as mine.
The box that I connect to by Wi-Fi is wired into the wall.
Yeah.
So it's coming in through a cable. Now, obviously, you can't have a cable connected to the bus unless the cable is like 40 miles long.
Yeah. It could be something that's integrated on the buses, maybe, or like a little Wi-Fi device, like probably integrated onto the bus.
Yeah, probably works.
How does the what? Yeah, but I suppose. Yeah, that could be it, Stuart.
I don't know myself, sir.
Connecting to hotspots.
Yeah,
so, that's what it is. Mark Knight said he got stung by a bee the other day. 10 quid for a jar of honey. It reminds me when Nectar cards first came out, and I took years to fill my card up, and I took it into Sainsbury's. I said, "What can I buy with this?" And they gave me a jar of honey.
Oh yeah, you know
yeah.
Our buses all changed. Like so many buses have changed over the years. I never know. I never do. Have you ever seen the old Mercedes-Benz buses?
Say that again.
You know the old Mercedes buses that look like mini buses?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them or driven one? Them ones?
Yes, I have.
I remember them.
I think I showed you this the other week. This is the buses we used to have in.
Oh, yeah, and we did, yeah.
But they had these a lot in Bristol when I first came, and I absolutely hated them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that was how I learned. Well, up until that point, I'd never have to do double declutch, and you had to in those, otherwise you would just fail.
Anyone changed gears with manual, wouldn't I?
Yeah, we see cars are quite forgiving, aren't they? Because you're supposed to double clutch to go from first to second. Is it second to third? But if you don't do that in a bus, it will tell you.
Yeah, now the automatic gearboxes, don't they, on buses now?
Yeah, they are all automatic now, which is a pack. You know, they've even got rid of the a lot years ago. The automatic buses, you could still select first, second, third, which was very, very handy for going up hills. But they've even got rid of that now. But yeah, there's also, or they disconnect it. What age car are you talking about? Old cars, Mark. You got to remember that the newest car I've ever owned was about 15 years old.
Have you driven a Beetle then?
I bought a car the other week, and I was like, bloody hell, it's got electric window. Oh, the new Citaros. When I was or when I first went to Aylesbury, I got in this Citaro, and I'm like, it's got electric windows. And the driver teaching me was like, yeah, and I went, I never had electric windows in a bus. It's brilliant. I'm just sitting there going, bzz, bzz, bzz. And then the one I drove at Bristol Airport had electric sunblind. Like,
oh yeah, no, it's enough. Yeah.
Brilliant. But you think it's all more to go wrong, because the one of the buses at Bristol Airport, the electric windows failed, and any other company they would say, "Oh, just carry on in service," because obviously, like, you don't need to open and shut your windows all the time, do you? But at Bristol Airport, you do, because you have a security pass. You have to tap this pass on to get through the barrier to get into the airport. So, bus off the road.
I bet old Routemasters used to be worse than that to know to drive.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the old basic stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the Dennis darts I like.
Yeah.
Because they're a nice, simple bus. You put your foot on the accelerator, it goes. You put your foot on the brake, it slows down. You turn the steering wheel, and the doors open. And that's all you need.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm going to have to go.
What's the buses?
Yeah.
Something's come up, so.
Yeah, no problem, Dave. You have a wonderful work.
It's been a nice stream tonight. We've had a laugh and everything, and
there's one bus. Yeah.
Just sorry that I've had to be coming and going.
That's on. It's on my screen.
It's all right, David. It's absolutely fine. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on, even for a couple of seconds.
All right. Well, catch you all next time, and keep up the good work. And good night, everybody.
Yeah. No.
See you next week, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Right, I'm actually going to close the show down now anyway, because it's getting a bit close to 11 o'clock, and you know I work in the mornings. So, has anybody got anything else to bring up?
No, this is one going out because to support these.
Oh, is that your pots?
Yeah, I put them all in, all masons now with the going in there.
How are you getting on with that? Is it slowly building up?
Yeah, look at that. Look at the backs.
Nice.
And
nice. You've done well on that. It was only like £3, wasn't it?
Because I was on Prime, it's about £8 I think I have to pay for them because I'm Prime.
Oh, £8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Right, okay. So, Horlicks, have you had a good birthday?
I have. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a surprise to see all these people. Thank you so much for my gift as well.
Going the last Horlicks.
P40F20, absolutely lovely to have you on the show. Have you enjoyed
Thank you for having me on. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice.
Something I need to ask you. Whereabouts are you from? Because I'm trying to place that accent.
I live in just outside Cleveland, Ohio,
Okay.
in a little town called Brunswick.
The only Brunswick I know is the bowling alleys.
Yeah, the bowling.
Yeah.
All the bowling equipment's made by Brunswick.
But I do.
I was a little boy. When I was a little boy, I grew up in Brunswick, and then moved a little bit further north to another town called Parma, and that's where I really grew up.
Okay, and that's where they make the ham, isn't it?
The ham?
Parma ham. Or do they make the violets? The Parma violets?
You're losing me.
Yeah, no. My family comes from New York and that sort of area. My auntie's moved to Oklahoma, and I've got good friends in California, and Canadian friends. And that was my friends who taught me that you really don't want to say to a Canadian, "Oh, is that an American accent?" Because they don't like it.
Well, I have what you would call a Midwest accent.
Yeah. I was going to say you're a little bit more in the middle, are you? Because I know my east side, and I know my because my dad's accent is very New York, and it sounds kind of almost lazy, laid back, taking my time, really not bothered, kind of an accent.
Depending on what part of New York you're from.
Yeah. As opposed to the Italian New York, which is completely different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, guys. So I'm going to call it a night now. Thank you very much to all of my guests, some of which are here and some have gone. So next week, the public know exactly what we're doing, which is going to be exactly the same as this week. And we'll have a little play with this. This putty that I've done, it's actually almost workable, but I wouldn't work with it yet. So I would still leave that overnight, but it does set quite hard fairly quick. But to properly cure, you want to leave it overnight. Right then, so that is it then. So I will let people say their respective goodbyes, and then I will end the show.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Oh, I'll go. So yeah, thank you very much for all coming, and thank you for the birthday wishes and whatnot, and thank you for the presents, and yeah, it's been a really good stream.
Good. Okay, so do you want to say goodbye, Chris?
Yeah. Thanks for having us on as well, and happy birthday to you, Horlicks, again, and enjoy yourself tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. No problem. And lastly, P40F20.
Well, again, thank you very much for allowing me to be on the show. I've been watching you for months now, and it's great to really be a part of it. Thank you.
And don't forget to drop me a message on Facebook about getting the subscriptions.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you so very much.
Not a problem. Right, so take care, guys. I will see you next week at 8 o'clock, where we will be doing more screwing on the seats. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.